YouTube Studio. YouTube Studio. Let's see what we got here. Content. Boom. Easy. Alright. Let's go ahead and close that out. We're live over here. Hi, Hugh. What's up, G2? How you doing? How's your day? How's your night? How's your life? How's everything? While we're at it, just how's everything? Go live and boom. Just finished a behind the wheel. Is that code for something, or like did you like take a driving test or something? Instructor said you did good. Let's go. Let's go. Hell yeah, let's go. Love to hear it. Congratulations. Good job. Love to see it. Love to see it. Yeah. Just don't start smacking into partitions on your way home from work and then get your license suspended for whatever the fuck reason. You should be good. Not saying it happened to anybody or anything. But yeah, good to see you. Good to see you. Just getting started. See if we today was a horrible day to be Indian. Good lord, we had IFAR at school, and the performances were atrocious. Oof. Let's see here. If God isn't real, then who created the universe? I don't think it was a who. I think it was a what. I think natural processes, an eternal cycle of natural processes created the universe. That's what I think. That's where I think the universe came from. My goat, what's up, Reverse? How you doing? Higher than 2 sheets to the wind, drunker than Cuda Brown. Let's go, baby. Chucking and jive. Oh wait, can I say that? I'm like half black. I think I can say it. Can you explain? Yeah, sure. So I think that the universe is just in an eternal cycle of expansions and contractions, or like expansions are things that happen in the universe, or at least could happen, and it happened this time. So I don't know. How do you get the video in the background? I stream on Live Studio, which is I stream on my computer basically. So you can like add sources, and I added a GIF as the source. But on phone, I think it's possible. It's just very difficult. There has to be a creator of a creation. Prove that the universe is a creation, and then you know, we can go from there. I get back or get left type shit. What's up, Z? What created humans? Abiogenesis and evolution is how humans got here. Abiogenesis to form the first species. Can you call them species? I mean, like proto species, I guess. And then like they evolved into humans after billions and billions of years. It's Tartaglius. What happened to your other name? What would make you believe in a god? Also, what's up, Tartaglius? What would make me believe in a god is if a god came down and like tapped me on the shoulder, said, "Hey, here I am. What's up?" That'll probably make me believe. You know, science can't prove that. Science also proves that snakes don't talk. So, if you're arguing for a particular religion here, I probably wouldn't go the route of saying science this, science that. It's good chat. What's up, Reverse? Welcome in. Nothing pops out of nowhere. You think God popped out of nowhere, don't you? Or do you just think he's always existed, but the universe couldn't always exist because of whatever reason? What's up, Hugh? What's up, Aaron? How you doing? Why is Christianity still living in your head rent free? You would think atheism would lead to. Oh, I talk about religion for the same reason that doctors talk about diseases. You know, not because I believe in it, but because it's worth talking about. Detriments should be worth talking about. I'll bring up a guest. Why not? Let's do it. Christian.
Hello.
Hello. How old are you for TikTok purposes?
I'm 18.
What year were you born?
2006.
Get out of here. Wait, would that be? Yeah, 2006 would be
18.
You'd be turning 19 this year. Yeah, no, that checks out. I remember 2006 like it was yesterday. So excuse me. I was 10 in 2006. All right, but yeah, what's up? What do you want to talk about?
I'm just trying to understand how the concept of infinity works.
The concept of infinity,
Yeah, because
Num-
is it
numerical
not?
infinity, or
I don't know what you mean. I'm just
like I said,
how can you even consider something infinite if you can't see a start or an end? If that makes sense.
are you a
Because
Christian?
isn't there a what would you call it? What is it called? Like a dilemma or a
Tri-
thing when it comes to
I'm not.
infinity, a paradox or whatever when it comes to infinity.
If you're talking about like the Hilbert's Grand Hotel, like the infinity paradox, possibly, but like that would only it's only logically inconsistent if you presuppose a defined start, you know. So, but also,
But but that's
aren't you
why I'm okay. But
aren't you a
that's
Christian though? Like just to make sure we're on the same page here.
yeah, yeah. But I'm just trying to understand it from how we even get to conclusion that something's infinite.
I think the universe is has been eternally around for like think of I want you to think of time this way, right? Not that we're like think of us as a number, like the present as a number, right? A lot of people think of time as us being a constantly changing number. It's a number that's constantly getting bigger and bigger and bigger, right? I don't think of time that way. I think that of the present is just zero and it's all that chronologically exists. And then as we move toward a positive value, that's the forward progression of time. And as we move away from a negative value, that's just the past, basically. It's a B theory.
So you've scrapped the idea of time in general,
I mean, I acknowledge time, just not like in a linear sense, like most people
more
think of it.
like a created thing by.
Like an illusion sort of deal, kind of like at this time. It's just to me the description of things, of events
Wait, so is
happening.
time? I don't know the answer to this question. So, but is time not true in existence whether our minds exist or not?
Like the construct itself, I don't think so. Our ability to perceive it as like a thing, sure, but yeah, I mean, as a concept, I mean, there are no
So it's not
concepts
part of
without minds.
metaphysics or whatever you want to call it.
Like time isn't part of metaphysics. I
Yeah,
don't know
like surely
how do
agent is part.
how do I best describe it? Let's say humans got wiped off the planet right now, right? Apples will still exist, but there's nobody around to
Exactly.
call it an apple. You know what I'm saying, or define it to
Which
be
means
an
there's
apple.
truth without a mind.
Yeah, time is the same way for me. Like things would still progress, and that progression can be described as time, but then nobody'd be around to
Does
define it
that
as
not
time.
show
You
you
know?
that? Does that not show you that there is an ultimate mind though?
No, it doesn't. Because why would I need to think that human minds aren't the things that are like if we're around as humans and have the ability to define things and conceptualize things, I'm not seeing why that would need some sort of ultimate mind outside of ours to define things for us.
But there's things that are true that exist out of our mind. It's quite hard to conceive.
Yeah, so like I acknowledge that there are things, but the values that we give to them or the concepts for how we define them stop existing when there's not a brain to conceive of them.
Oh,
Like
that's
like
interesting.
Apple stops being Apple once there is no longer anybody to call it an apple.
But that goes. But, but does that not go against the whole? It exists outside the mind.
I mean
Because what
the
I might
thing,
be
sure.
straw manning you, but doesn't that mean that you believe like everything only exists because of the mind?
No, not that everything only exists because of the mind, but the way that we define things only exists because of our mind. Like like how do I best explain it? I'll just use another example, like an ocean, any ocean. For some odd reason, the oceans, flood the whole planet, wipe out humans. There's still water on the planet, but who's going to call it water?
Mm.
The concept of water stops existing because there's nobody around to conceive what water is. But the water itself, the H2O, is still there. So that's my position.
Fair enough.
Fair.
Fair enough.
All right, but got anything else for me? I'll get back to the
Sorry,
chat.
could you just clarify one more time? Like, how do we come to a conclusion that something's infinite?
Oh, like how we can come to a conclusion that's like what in anything in particular, or just like infinity
Just
as
in
a
general.
concept, or I'm not sure how you want me to answer that one, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, one guy said to me um, that it's based on variables, if that makes sense, and that like that they can predict that something because of these variables that it will always be the same, if that makes sense.
We probably got to talk in the DMs. I don't know who you're talking about or like
I'm off.
what concept we're getting at, honestly. But
No problem. I'll leave you alone.
no, fair is fair.
Have a good one.
You too. Take care. Well, 2006 is really 18. 2006 is really 18 right now. They turned 19 this year. Anybody know Chris Benoit, the wrestler that killed his family? He did that 18 years ago. Holy shit. Anyway, we're back. We are so back. Sup, Robert? Sup, sir? Can dogs talk to you telepathically? No, dogs cannot talk to me telepathically, as far as I know. Can you see air? No, but you know it's there and you need it to live. I mean, you can see air if it's cold enough. So I don't know why y'all keep choosing air as an analogy. Like, it's winter where I'm at. Thrillist ranked my state as having the second worst winters in the country. So just a couple days ago, I could go. It's kind of warm out, not warm, but warmer outside now. But you can literally go outside and see the air if it's cold enough. You can see it coming out of your breath. High Inquisitor, enough about Jungkook, okay? Chris Benoit was something. Yeah, he was a damn good wrestler, but what he did was just oof. Why'd you become an atheist? So I left my faith after about a year of deconstruction. And deconstruction is just critically thinking about why you believe what you believe, interrogating your faith, taking it apart layer by layer, piece by piece, and checking to see if you find any veracity in the claims of the faith. And ultimately, for me, after about a year of that process, I just came to the conclusion that I no longer believed in anything supernatural or divine. If anybody's knows Evangelical Daddy, I got that from him. it yeah, wraps things up nicely. Do you like chips? I love chips. Yeah. What made you walk away from God? I wouldn't say walk away is the best answer. I stopped believing in God because I just no longer saw any evidence for it convincing. Yeah, I used to watch him. I don't watch him now because does he even stream on TikTok anymore? I don't know, but because his main got banned and his backup got banned. Yeah, I miss him so much though. Maybe should have borrowed that from him. What's the main thing? The Bible's what started it. The Bible's what started it, and then the lack of evidence is what finished it. Yeah, I do have a video posted. You're on YouTube, so go to my videos, not shorts or lives, but videos, and then sort by oldest, and it'll be the first one I upload it. Okay, my first art I post on the account was the one I did of you as a pregnant furry. Absolutely not. Thank you so much. What made you switch to atheism? I just didn't see any evidence for Christianity being true. That's the big reason. That's the that was the nail in the coffin for sure. Did you pray during deconstruction? I sure did. Yeah, I prayed a lot actually. I prayed almost daily, I'd say. Why can't I? I did not give you consent to draw me as a furry. Thank you very much. Lack of evidence that does not disprove God? No, but it does give me a good enough reason to not believe in one. You know, if something's supposed to be self-evidently true, like Christianity and the claims they're supposed to be, then there should be evidence for it. And if there's no evidence, I have a good reason to say, okay, well, could be true, but I have no reason to believe in it. Looking back now, I wouldn't even say it could be true because they haven't even gotten off the ground of proving their claims yet. What'd you pray for? Signs, faith, all that good stuff. Do you give examples? Examples of what? Worldly Christianity and biblical Christianity. Do you know this? I take it up with other Christians, dude. To be completely honest, I'm past the point of like debating, what kind of Christianity, this, that, and the third. It's like, the infighting isn't for me personally. It truth never has been what? It truth never has been its educated guesses based on the knowledge known at the time. Educated guesses? You would think an all-knowing God would do better for the people writing the Bible than giving them educated guesses, right? Enjoy Hell G. A silent filler. I just made a video about people like you today. You should check it out. It's pretty fun. People that think like enjoy hell, it's going to get to me. There were people who asked for signs in the Bible and God never gave it to them. I mean, yeah, he kind of picks and chooses who to give it to or not give it to, right? So why make this channel? I make this channel because I want people to critically think about why they believe the things they believe and dedicate their life to. I want to have some fun. I want to learn some new things. I want to teach people some new things and give people an opportunity to engage with somebody who thinks differently than they do. Because we're going to need that a lot. These Christians make me look terrible. They do make you look pretty terrible. I'm not gonna lie. Pretty, it's, after that video, score one for atheism. Had the best falafel today. I've never had falafel. It looks interesting. I guess it looks decent. I mean, it's fried balls of what is it? Like flour or something? I don't know. Why do you find Jesus unreliable? I just don't. I have no reason to think that Jesus rose from the dead or was the Son of God. Hugh, you were never Christian. Shut up, Tartaglia. He does choose. He chose to have a relationship with me and not with you. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Then I'm justified in not believing in him. What are your thoughts on the LGBTQ? Neutral. I don't have any thoughts on them whatsoever. Uh, you know, who somebody chooses to sleep with or how they choose to identify, so long as they got same deal with that same way I think about straight people. It's just as long as there's consenting adult humans in the equation on all sides, I couldn't give a shit, honestly. uh, Believing in God and following are two different things. Why would I care if you personally? If you quite literally just said that, he chose you and didn't choose me. Why would I want to follow somebody who didn't choose me? Like, why get on here and talk about this? Who cares? Jehovah, do you say the same thing to people that do agree with you religiously that you see preaching on the street, or do you like walk past them or say amen or something? There's people out there on the milk crates with the megaphones holding up signs and shit like, Jesus is coming. I'm here to save your soul. Do you tell them, hey, why get out here? Who cares, man? I can bet you don't. So let's not do the concern trolling. Jordan Peterson makes me want to throw my phone at a wall. Jordan Peterson's proof that you can have all the intelligence in the world and still be dumb. Same with Elon Musk. What was your last straw that made you stop being a Christian? When I realized that I was holding God to a different existential standard than everything else in my life. Because like everything else in my life or everything else that I acknowledge as existent either can answer back, can be seen or otherwise visible, can be seen or otherwise felt sensibly, or it can be logically accounted for. I couldn't do any of those with God though. Revelation 13:1. What am I supposed to do with that? J-Bay, I'm not sure what you want me to do with this story. Like, I'm glad you had this profound experience, but I'm not sure what you want me to do with it personally. I'm a Hindu. Hey, welcome in, Sion. How you doing? Sion? I don't know. It does say in the Bible, if you come to the faith and then leave completely, you were never of the faith. It also says that there's snakes talking and donkeys talking, so I'm not going to take the Bible seriously on its claims. Because if they're going to claim other impossible shit, why should I believe the part that says I was never a Christian? They break logic plenty of times in the Bible, so I got no reason to take that seriously. I still ain't dating another man. Pray for me. No, we're not doing a prayer right now. See here. I'm saying that your heart didn't want to believe and follow. That's all. Okay, believe what you want about me. Everything to gain if you're right, nothing to lose if you're wrong. Chris, is that the only reason that you believe in Christianity, or do you have another reason? I'm in the same place almost. How do you define atheist? Just somebody that doesn't believe in any God or God figures. That's literally it. If somebody asks you, do you believe there's a God, and your answer is no, congratulations, you're an atheist. You're no fun? You drew me as a furry. Come on, there's no fun to be had here. We can't see our ancestors. We know they were true. You missed part of what I said then. I said logically accounted for. It makes perfect sense that I, as a human being who has to come from another human being or some other species or before me, is eventually then I'm going to have ancestors, especially if humans have been around for longer than one generation. I could have done worse. I didn't ask you to do that to begin with. The snake is the devil. That doesn't help Howard at all, really. Oh, my bad. The snake talked not because it was a talking snake, but because it was actually an evil spirit as a snake. Oh, my bad. Oof. Yeah. Okay. We know for a fact that we have ancestors. Yeah, I don't know why they use that, dude. So much evidence of an intelligent creator. We're not stupid beings. Are you sure about that? Are we positive? Oh man. Don't believe or disbelieve like there's not a Christian God or there's no creator. No creator at all. I'm up in the air about honestly. It could be, could not be. You know, I think by the very nature of it, it would be incomprehensible. So I don't give it much thought. But the Christian God can't be real. The have a very pragmatic reasons for not believing in the Christian God because it's described in a book that makes scientifically impossible claims that otherwise can't be accounted for. Do you think God can change his mind or lie? If he's all powerful, he should be able to. And if he's the book claims that he's all powerful, but also that he can't change his mind or lie, then that's just a contradiction. Look at mockingbirds. How can anything random create that? Create that for the same reason that something random can create a kid getting leukemia. For the same reason that something random can create us getting appendicitis. I don't know if you want to go that route with me. Uh, I agree. The Christian God can't be real. Yeah, it can't be. It's just impossible. Everything else that breaks logic as we know it, I call it impossible. So I'm not gonna do something different for God. You changed your name. I did change my name. Yeah, I did. I did. The algorithm was fucking me. At least on my videos before I changed it. So I got the word atheist out of there. Unchained Skeptic, you're getting muted, bro. YLU apostrophe RE. Christian God requires three pillars: all knowing, all powerful, and all loving. Yeah. Can't be all three of those things, though. Johan, what are you doing? What do these white squares do? See here, you can't say it don't, but that doesn't mean it is accurate. What? What science verifies many claims? In the Bible? Are you sure about that? Are you positive? Don't Google what space film came out in 1992. That is such an old joke, Johan. I've been on the internet since 2006. That is such an old joke, dude. Like, oh no, GN from outer space. Like, oh boy, I'm a Satanist. Congratulations. No, it's not. What's your top atheistic argument? Just that a God that's supposed to be self-evident would have shown himself or been more apparent. There wouldn't be any room for debate with it. But considering the fact that most of the world isn't one religion, you know, every time I join, a Satanist appears. W Satan. Let's get W Satan in the chat. Let's get a W Satan in the chat real quick. Let's get a W Satan real quick. He showed himself. Not to me. I ain't see him. Hell yeah, let's get it. Yeah, let's get a W Satan going. Let's get a Satan chain going. Let's do it. There's no evidence anywhere of a creator. Yeah, me either. I don't see it either. People bring up intelligent design like, oh, we exist so well on this planet. It's like, oh, jeez. Q1223. Why are you still in here chirping, dude? Why are you still in here chirping? You think every atheist wants to be Alex O'Connor? Are we joking? If you do your actual homework, you will see science verifies many of the claims in the Bible. Definitely not the supernatural stuff. Historically, does some of the people in the Bible exist? Yeah. Does that prove that snakes talk, donkeys talk, bushes talk, that the flood happened? Absolutely not. Prove the resurrection? Absolutely not. So I don't know where you're getting that from. You can just say, it sounds good to say, oh, if you did your homework, but yeah, that's a joke. You and Alex friends? No, I don't know Alex. I'm a fan of his though. Can I get another man pregnant? No, you cannot get another man pregnant. Unless it's a trans man, I guess. In which case, like, yeah, but I don't know. Planet and body are a perfect creation. Are you talking about our body that can get cancer and appendicitis? Is that what we're talking about here? In our planet that rotates around a star that can give us cancer? That has earthquakes, tsunamis, volcanic eruptions, mudslides, hurricanes, tornadoes. That planet. Just make sure we're on the same page here. LOL, bro. You don't want to debate or logic. Ian, how old are you for? Let me just take a wild guess here. How old are you? I'm not gonna say what I want to say, but like, how old are you? You're coming across as like a 16, 17-year-old somewhere in there. I don't know. Oh, you said later, folks. Okay. See you later. I'll accept your concession. I don't think Big Bang is quite right though. The Big Bang has more than enough evidence for it. Absolutely more than enough evidence. Everything gives us cancer because this world is no good. I mean, cancer's been around before the supposed fall of man. So I don't know. 37? Oh, that's a yikes. All right. See you later. Get out of here. Run away. I tend to think of God as a kid with an ant farm on his on his bookshelf. If God did exist, that would make most sense for me for sure. Yeah. Uh, dick parasites are perfect according to Christians. There's dick parasites. You can get parasites in your dick. Ian, you're still here. Didn't you say you were gone? The Big Bang sounds like Let There Be Light to me. I mean, the Big Bang happened 14 billion years ago, and what happened in Genesis 1 2? Not 1 2, but happened on the second day. I want to remember this off the top of my head because I read Genesis so often, but I don't know. But even if Genesis, like, if you want to say, oh, the days, quote unquote, were just some random amount of time, it still has a false order of things. Like, it claims that vegetation was created before the sun. We know that's not true. Claims that day and night was created before the sun and the moon. That's not true. So, can you see my dick? Can you make it? What the fuck are you saying, G2? Huh? What are you saying? All right, Ian. Yeah, you're right. I don't want a conversation, dude. So you know what I'm gonna do, Ian? I'm gonna go ahead and get you out real quick. We got our first skadoosh of the night. Y'all ready for this? Y'all ready for the skadooshing real quick? All right, Ian. You said you were leaving, so that's the only reason I'm gonna put you in timeout. Skadoosh! See you later. Fuck out of here. See you later. Have a good one. Peace out. Much love. Take care, bro. See you later. Unchained Skeptic, would you win against Cliff in a debate? In a formal debate where he's not allowed to talk over? I mean, even if you were allowed to talk over, it's like, that still wouldn't make his points good. Fuck it, yeah, I'd destroy Cliff in a debate. I've heard some good apologists. He's not one of them. Grew a Mormon, never really saw the sense in it at all. Oh man, Mormon's a rough one. Everything I keep hearing from my ex-Mormon friends is just gets worse and worse every time I hear it. You doing all right now, or? I agree, Cliff can't debate. Yeah, he's not very good at it. I say Stewart's a little bit better, but not by much. Gets skadooshed and hawk to it. Let's see what we got here. Why are we getting freaky? There was no freakiness going on, all right? That's called... they were spitting on things long before Haley Welch got popular, all right? People were spitting on people long before that. It's to say, hey, fuck you, hawk to her, you know? Just because she co-opted it. If you read Genesis, you would know that time started when we sinned. We were eternal before that. That is, I'm not going to lie, that's one of the claims of time started when we sinned. Do you want to rephrase that? Surely you want to rephrase it. Time started when we sinned. Time started when we sinned. Do you agree with Alex that Jesus didn't claim to be God? I think he did claim to be God in, I forget the verse, but it's some verse in New Testament. For sure. Like Romans, maybe? I don't know. Or at least part of God. There isn't a God or Jesus. My husband is probably an ex-Mormon. Guess he did his homework. W husband. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Out of all the people all the denominations I get talking to this, like who left their denomination, I hear the top three like worst experiences are Mormons, Jehovah's Witnesses, and Southern Baptists. I used to be a Southern Baptist too, so I get it. Oh, reverse is out. See you later, dude. How's it going? What's up, Mighty Filbert? How you doing? How's your day going? I love men and love God. What the? You love men and God? If I were you, I'd change one of those things. I'm not going to tell you which one, though. Alex blundered with that statement. Terrible from him using Muslim arguments. Yeah, if I remember, there was like one verse where you can construe it to say Jesus said he was God in the New Testament. Like one verse, but it also contradicted another verse. So I don't know. I think I would, if I were him, I would appeal to the contradiction more than appeal to, the ones that were actively saying, choosing one way or the other. You have a calming voice. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Look, ha. I had to say your username like that. I'm sorry. I'm a Southern Baptist for real. It's crazy over here. Sometimes it makes me think. You should think. You should think for sure. Yeah, it was a weight off my shoulders for sure. Not during around the time when I first started deconstructing, but a couple years after. New level of weight off my shoulders. Even Bart Ehrman agrees that Jesus claimed to be God. Yeah, I got no issue claiming that Jesus claimed it. It's a matter of did he actually, was he actually God or not? The Mighty Filbert, thank you for subscribing to the YouTube. The rest of y'all should subscribe too while we're at it. Also, I should put my TikTok chat back up on Streamlabs. But they keep saying it's unoriginal content when I do that on Kicks. I don't know. But yeah, thank you for subscribing. Appreciate you. Heard you reverted back to Christianity. You heard incorrect, dude. That was a joke stream. Well, two joke streams, but those were joke streams. I was joking. I don't know how people thought I wasn't joking. I was trying to be as over the top as possible, but people were like, "Amen, LOL." That atheist got cooked. I'm sitting there like, "Are we fucking joking?" There's no way we know. There's no way we think we're serious, right? Darth Dawkins came in. It was that was a fever dream of a stream. That was a fever dream. Jesus X Yahweh Rule 34. What the fuck? Let me get a strap. What the fuck am I reading? I'm a former Southern Baptist minister, so I get what you mean. Hell yeah. You get it. You get it even better than I can get it, because I was in the congregation. You're up there having to preach that nonsense. Hell yeah. What is your favorite Bible ship? What do you mean, Bible ship? Why are we shipping people from the Bible? Come on, man. You think I have a favorite Bible ship? Are we joking? Come on. Bible ship. Lock in, dude. You were locked in for real? I was not locked in. I was locked in to not laughing my ass off. I don't know how I didn't, but why are we shipping people from the Bible? Been rocking the nihilism too hard. Nihilism's pretty it's I don't know if I have anything productive to say about it because I'm kind of a nihilist. I say more so like an absurdist, but so yeah, but from the like coming from having purpose to nothing objectively matters, it's a wild trip. If you need somebody to talk to, I got you. Sorry. What made you become an atheist? I looked for evidence of God being real and found none of it convincing. That's what made me into an atheist. So I left my, I'm not gonna do the evangelical daddy speech real right now. Tatiana Caballero, thank you for the follow. How were Jesus and Yahweh the same God? One says love your enemies, the other says kill them. Yeah, they can't. I mean, you can argue there maybe kind of, oh, he meant to abolish what God said in the Old Testament, but it's like, ugh, what are we doing? In Matthew, what is it, 5:17 through 19? It says to follow those laws too. So I don't know, man. You believe Christianity is better for society than atheism? No, I don't actually. I'm not just saying that because I have a bias toward atheism or anything, but I mean, we could look at the very real downsides to people being to a Christian society, or at the very least, what I mean, even now to this day, but especially back when it was first quote unquote spreading around the world by the sword. Yeah, I say atheism gives way for I don't even know because I don't even want to be overly cynical and say that it gives way for some atrocities as well, but it's because like there's no book telling you to do awful things. There's no book giving you an incentive to go around, murdering indigenous people. So I wouldn't even go that far. All the studies show Christianity's better. I'll need to see your studies then. The happiest, most developed countries are the least religious. Exactly. So yeah, I wouldn't even go that far. I want to give benefit of the doubt, but yeah, I think an atheist, general atheist societies will probably be better for the world. You should watch some debates, man. You're wrong on that. Just give your source, right? Right? If you have a source. Devin, thank you for the follow. I gotta turn my sound on for follow alerts real quick. Give me a second. Activate this alert. Okay, there we go. I don't like missing alerts. I feel like I'm egoing people when I do that. The ship of Castaway sailed from Malta to Puteoli under the sign of Castor and Pollux ships of Kidda mentioned in Daniel merchant ship. What do you want me to do with that? Here we go. YouTuber, ultimate biblic Judeo. This guy, he's always funny as hell. Disjunctly, ontotheos, liar, worldviewish trivialism, or dialetheism viciously spiralized their antinomic nescience. Pure consistent logic principle explosion. Yeah, he always comes in saying some nonsense and then leaves. He's fucking hilarious. You were never a Christian, then you can't say you are, and then the next you're not. Sure, I can. You can be something and then not be something. You know, you believe somebody could be something and not be something for everything else. Why not Christianity? May I ask what turned you atheist? So I left religion and Christianity after about a year of deconstruction. And deconstruction is just critically thinking about why you believe what you believe, interrogating your faith, taking it apart layer by layer, piece by piece, and checking to see if you find any veracity in the claims of the faith. And ultimately, for me, after about a year of that process, I just came to the conclusion that I no longer believed in anything supernatural or divine. I'm also the next Christian. Welcome in, Moon. Welcome in. I have a question. What's your question, the Ohio butthole tickling man? What's your question? In Europe, we think it's kind of cool that someone somewhere still believes our old fairy tales. Isn't that pretty awesome? W coloniz. Let's get a W for colonization, right? I'm just kidding. Let's not. Let's please not. I'm not getting triplets, G2. What the fuck, man? What's your favorite ship in the Bible? It's the question you seem to not know. There are more than more. Oh no, not the. Did you mean like ship as in like water faring vehicle, or did you mean ship as in like fandom person with person? I don't know.
Isn't the problem of hard solipsism can be resolved by the fact that my brain would no way, shape, or form simulate people as dumb as theists?
Jesus Christ. Good God, man. What a statement. JC, I gotta get some water. JC, thank you for the $1. I appreciate it. I need some water immediately. I got something stuck in my throat. Oh God, I got a cock. Wait 1 second. Almost choked to death. What if that's God? Thank you for the $1, JC. JC says, isn't the problem of hard solipsism can be resolved by the fact that my brain would in no way, shape, or form simulate people as dumb as theists? Damn. To be fair, JC, to be completely fair, if whatever reality we're in wanted it to be realistic, it would have to make people that are stupid. God got your tongue for real? Yeah, God's a kitty cat. Anyway, people can be LGBTQ and Christian. Yeah, people can also be mice and support snakes. Unchained Skeptic, can you read out Harvard studies on what is better for you mentally, atheism or Christianity? Just give me the source, dude. Just give me the source, dude. Plus, I'm not sure, like, you know, let me say that there's studies proving what I want to prove, and then tell you to look them up on your stream. Like, come on, dude. What are we doing? The new name confused me. I'm a confusing person. What's up, Mama? How you doing today? How's your day going? How's your day? How's your night? How's your life? How's your wife? How's your husband? How's your cat, your dog, and your pig, and your turtle, and your... I'm just saying random shit at this point. I'm a pagan. We don't force our religious beliefs on others. We do love our pagan friends around here. We love our pagan peeps. You're a Hellenic pagan. Hellenism's pretty cool. I like the Egyptian pantheon a lot better, though. Ra, Osiris, Mint. I'm Batman. You are not Batman reverse. The real god is Arceus. Oh, we got a Pokemon bro in here. What's Hellenic? Greek, basically. Can we talk about the political and economic state of the world? I sure as fuck hope we don't. Because, man, that'd be a very depressing thing to talk about. The Egyptians seem so cool, too. Yeah, their pantheon was pretty cool. I liked it. Hellenic polytheists. We love our Greek believers in here. Welcome in, Coda. Hell yeah. We love our pagans. We love our Satanists. We love our fellow atheists, right? We love our Christians. Sometimes we love our Muslims. Occasionally. We like our Hindus. We like our Buddhists. Why'd you switch to atheism? I just didn't see any evidence for God being convincing. That was it. That was the big one. Would you like my username on the text-to-speech? I did like your username on the text-to-speech. J Crin Giggle likes to wiggle. Do you like to wiggle or do you like to giggle? Which is it? Oh, I got an Instagram comment. I should probably end myself in GTA 5. What made you not be Christian? Oh, they probably left to another chat by now. But I just stopped. I'm not gonna give the whole speech, but lack of evidence is why I left Christianity. We just love everyone. I don't love everyone. I'll be honest. Some of y'all need to go. Not you guys in the chat per se, but like some people just need to go. You know, I'm one of those. The in growing up, they said like you either a MLK or you're a Malcolm X. I'm definitely more of a Malcolm X type. I don't think true tolerance can give way for intolerance. Some people just gotta go. I'm not gonna say who, you know, because one of them owns a platform I'm trying to get some followers on, but some people just gotta go. You're not true reborn Christian. Lomix, luckily for you, I don't debate about whether or not I was a Christian. If you personally think I wasn't a Christian, I'm not going to take that from you. You know, believe whatever helps you sleep at night, but I'm not going to debate that with you because I'm me and you're you, so I should know more about me than you do. Conversely, you should know more about you than I do. Not me, Hugh. I love your streams. No, Tartaglia, you got to go especially. Anybody that draws, you know what, new rule. Anybody that draws me as a furry from here on out, anybody that draws me as a furry from here on out, that's an insta permaban forever. All platforms, blocked, banned, reported, added on Facebook. I'm just going a whole mile with you. I will do nothing to make sure that you're separated. New challenge? No new challenge, Blue Hat. Okay? If you draw me as a furry, you need to be excommunicated in the kindest way I could put that. Fun fact. Somebody in my Discord drew me as a furry, and then like not long after, I got this this kind of thirst trap from this cosplayer who was dressed up as Sonic on my For You page. Never gotten anything like it before. What are we doing? Why are we doing this? Sup, bro? How are you? What's up, Doran? How's your day going? How's your day? How can we enjoy you as a furry if we don't know what you look like? She pulled it off. I don't know. What made the Bible not reliable? It making not logic. What's the word I'm looking for? Narratively contradictory claims and scientifically impossible claims. It's what made it unreliable. Why can't you admit you're wrong? Hey, YLU apostrophe RE if you're gonna call me wrong. You know what? Oh wait, no, that reminds me. I gotta show you all this real quick. But I can't admit that I'm wrong because you haven't sourced your claims yet. If I say your room's on fire right now and I'm like, oh, just trust me, bro, then you have no reason to believe me. Wait, one second. I gotta add this real quick. Somebody sent this to me. Like said this in chat not that long ago. I read it and even reading it now, it just always tickles me. Wait, let me show you all over on the YouTube chat real quick. Wait, what is it? Where is it? There you are. Yeah, this. Shit's so ironic to read, it's hilarious. Anyway, do you still think Christianity is ultimately a good thing? Ultimately, in theory, sure. In practice, absolutely not. Find a law gang? No, thank you. I think I'm more than halfway through the Quran. Yeah, I'm more than halfway through, and it's one of the most atrocious books I've ever read in my life. With all due respect, you know. Happy with my religion. I don't need anyone else's. Me either. Deej, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. From New Jersey, God's country. I wouldn't know if New Jersey is God's country. God's got a venereal disease. What's up, though, Win Ross? How you doing today? How am I supposed to draw you? I don't know, dude. Was it Dina? It was Dina. It was indeed Dina. New Jersey on top. Yeah, on top of the. If I finish that joke, I'm gonna get taken down on TikTok. So I'm not gonna finish that joke, but I think you know where I was going with it. See you later, Reverse. Have a good rest of your night. There's no scientific contradiction in the Bible. What is it? So you're not approaching this honestly. You're gonna say, "Oh, there is none," and then what is it? Come on.
Actual video of Hugh.
Actual video of Hugh? Wait, is there? Should you send media share with it? I don't have media share on. Should I turn media share on? I don't know. Thank you for the $1 though, JC. I appreciate it. Is there a video supposed to go with it? If so, I gotta turn it on some kind of way. Organized religions were created to control the masses. Indeed they were. Indeed they were. That's pretty evident if you look at the two most popular religions in the world and see what they have to say about spreading it and making sure people are saved or this, that, and the third. I respect Christianity, but I'm Muslim. Glad to hear it. You know what? Glad to hear it. I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say, but glad to hear it. Why would I listen to your opinion when you can't take 2 minutes to check a study? Q1223, this is not your stream, This ain't your stream. Coming in, say, oh, I'm going to make a claim it has studies behind it, and then tell you to look them up on your stream when you're trying to talk to people on multiple platforms. Like, matter of fact, fuck off. Matter of fact, everybody say goodnight to Q1223. We'll just see him next time. We'll just see him next time. Why not? Skadoosh! The fuck out of here, man. Matter of fact. 1 follower, 0 following. Yeah, fuck right off, actually. Take care. Have a good rest of your night. Not really, actually. Maybe I should become God. I love doing nothing. W. If I become God, my first order of business, not do anything about the kids in St. Jude. New here, what denomination of Christian were you? I was a Baptist, Benjamin. I was Baptist for 16 years, and then I was apostolic for 2 years, and then I was out of the church for a year while I was still believed in God, but out of the church, so I don't claim a denomination for that. I'm asking you because I know there's no scientific contradiction in the Bible. I ask you because you wouldn't answer. Oh, so snakes talk and donkeys talk and bushes talk and people rise from the dead and a flood that requires more water than the earth has on it happened. Okay, yeah, for sure, dude. Sounds good. Nothing has a higher failure rate than prayer. Yeah. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pray literally right now. Somebody give me something realistic to pray for, and if I get it before the stream is over, I will convert back to Christianity. Let's do it, actually. Let's do it, actually. Let's do this. Nay, you've been here long enough. You know what's coming. Nay, you know what's coming. I don't think you want to pray with me on this one. I don't think you want this. I don't think you want this. We'll see what happens when we die. Hey, Horton, here's a hue. All right, skeptical enough. You to get pregnant? Come on, Tartaglia. What the fuck? Pregnant? I can't. I'm a male. I'm a man. I'm a he. I don't get into all of that scientifically impossible stuff. Yeah, no, you do not want to pray with me, I can promise you.
When are we going to play GTA 5 also? The GIF showed on stream when I sent it. Since you can't see it, I will put another video on stream of Hugh to the chat.
It showed. Hell yeah. Thank you for the $1. I appreciate it. Well, the additional $1. Thank you. Are we going to pray for something good or disrespectful? Nay, you've been here long enough. You know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen. You know how this goes. You know we pull up the Dracula music and you know we go in. You know what this is already. Pray for 1,000 subscribers right now. You know what? Fuck it. Let's do it. I mean, frick it. Because I'm got to be a Christian real quick. Wait 1 second. Do I still have it? I do. Yeah, I do. All right. There we go. Which one is this? Is this horizontal or vertical? I can't remember. Riley, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. How many subs do you have? Last I checked, I was like one away from 200. So, yep. If we get 800 subscribers, quite literally within by the time the stream is over, I mean, that can only be divine, right? It's lock-in time. You know what time it is. Wait 1 second. We're about to do some prayer in the chat real quick. This always makes me laugh, dude. All right. I should save one of these. Oh wait, I do have this saved. All right. No. Father God. Father God, please. Father. You hear me, Father? You know me, Father. You exalt me, Father. Yes. Father, I pray to you through your conduit, Donald John Trump. Donald John President. Father, your man is hurting, Father. Your man needs to hit his watch hours on YouTube. He needs to hit his subscribers on YouTube, Father. Bless me with 800 more subscribers by the end of the stream, Father God. Show your mercy upon my channel. Come in my channel, Father. Put your goodness all in my channel. Fill it up, Father God. And fill me up too, Father. You know what time it is, Father. You know I'm ready for you. I've been preparing for you, Father. I live my life for you, Daddy God.
Yes, my child? Pray to me and I will exalt thee with all my might. If
Yeah.
you heard that.
Yes. Yes. Oh. Thank you for the dollar, God. Come in me, Father. Come in me, Father. Come in me. Come in me. In your holy name, I pray to you, amen. 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 When Daddy God uses you, Daddy God uses you like a puppet. That's where you scroll in, Matthew. That's when we scroll in. Are we serious, Matthew? That's when we scroll into the stream. That's the part. We're like, all right, completely normal before. Let me scroll in when he's getting his his holy cheeks ran, I guess. I suppose. This is off my screen. God, thank you for the dollar. I appreciate it. Ugh, I just got exalted. I can feel the exaltation all in my kidneys. Oh, man. You sounded so gay. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? Saying it like it's a bad thing. Anyone who came in mid-goon? Yeah. Yeah. You know what goon stands for? God opens our nether regions. I want to believe in God, but one issue I have is why is there so much suffering in the world? That's a very good question. It's a very, very good question. It's an extremely good question, actually. I don't think there's a good answer, honestly. You know? Kids getting cancer, that seems a little excessive. That's a little excessive. I can't quite place it, but this feels different from Sarah's lives. I can imagine why. You know? One of the kindest people on the planet. Sitting there talking calmly, not cursing. You know, giving people the benefit of the doubt. Talking to Christians and stuff. You know, doing things more succinctly. And then you got me pretending that I was a Christian for a second. Praying, not even really a prayer. Just gagging on it, spitting on it. Yeah, I'm going to take a wild guess here and say that the stream's a little different. Hope made me a Christian. Suffering is cause to the fall of man. World was created perfect at first. The world still had earthquakes and tornadoes and tsunamis and all that stuff before humans evolved. It absolutely did. The earth was a hellscape before humans. There were even dinosaur bones with cancer. Cancer existed before humans. So I mean, that's just outright false. Work here was done. Have a good day. You have a good rest of your night, Nay. Appreciate it. Madonna, is that you? Nah. My face is kind of chopped, but you know what? I'm not gonna finish that. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Self-deprecation. One good deed is worth more than 1,000 prayers. Indeed, it is. Speaking of good deeds, if you go to my GoFundMe, not my GoFundMe, my Linktree, I'm skipping ahead. There's a GoFundMe I shared of someone named Hani Almatun from Palestine, from northern Gaza, using some donations on there to get his community fed during the time where supplies are getting blocked at the border. There's a bunch of stuff in there to support the stream on my end too, but let's keep that in the background. They need food, you know. Ramadan's coming up. They're going to be ramping up production. Consider checking that out if you're so inclined. Just throwing that out there. If you read Genesis, you would know there was no disaster to sin. If I read Genesis, then I would know that vegetation occurred, what was it, before the sun existed, and day and night existed, before the sun existed, and there was a talking snake, and a man made from dust, and a woman made from a bone. So I don't think Genesis is the proper place to start for facts that we should, run away with. He made us perfect and we fell from that. You're just logically incorrect. There's nothing else to say about that, really. There was cancer in dinosaur bones. Tectonic plates were shifting before humans evolved. These are objective facts. If you want to then just appeal to like, oh, well, we were created, and then all of a sudden, they ate a fucking fruit, and earthquakes started happening. If you're a grown adult, I don't know how old you are. How do you even say that? In laudatis profeta. I probably conjured a demon or some shit. But if you're an adult believing that eating a pomegranate caused earthquakes to happen, I don't know what to tell you. If you're over the age of like 14, believing that eating a pomegranate caused cancer, I don't know what to tell you on that one. We were in a garden, and it even says in Revelation, God is the only light we will have in heaven. So biblically minded that you're no earthly good. Incapable of having a conversation without appealing to the Bible. Using logic and science. Instead of, oh, Bible says, therefore, Bible says, therefore, Bible says. Faith reveal come and when? After, I don't know, after I grow a little bit. At the current growth rate, by the end of the year at this point. Josh is Mart, thank you for following on Kick. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. What makes the Bible an unreliable source? Makes claims that are quite literally impossible. Like the Ark story, or somebody rising from the dead 3 days after they die. No way you're 30. I turn 30 next year. I'm 28. I turned 29 in April, and I turn 30 next April. Oh, you're talking about, he's 30? He's 30 believing that? That eating a fruit caused earthquakes? Dinos and humans coexisted? They did not. Please turn to God before it's too late. I only have one thing to say to that. How would everything in the world be so perfect without a creator? Didn't you say you weren't a Christian? But to answer your question directly, everything in the world is not perfect. Not even remotely, in any stretch of the imagination, close to perfect. 97% of our water is salty. We can't drink it. Muslim? Oh, same shit. Functionally, same God. Just different scriptures. But basically, 71% of our planet covered in water that we can't live in because we don't have gills. You reap what you doe, God bless. If you're going to say like passive aggressive shit, at least get your words right. But anyway, back to what I was saying. 71% water that we can't live in. 97% of the water is so salty we can't drink it. Like that's perfect to you? Earthquakes, hurricanes, tsunamis, tornadoes, mudslides, volcanic eruptions. That's perfect to you? What is it like? Only 2/3 of our planet being arable? Like 2/3 of the land we have available, I should say. My fault. That's perfect to you? For the universe to be like this, gravity has to be perfect. It's not perfect. You're holding humanity to some sort of objective standard. Who's to say that we as humans are the final say on what should be in like how the universe should operate or not? Slimy JJ, have a good rest of your night, bro. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, take care. Blah blah blah. Yeah, don't need that. Why are you ignoring me? I'm neglecting the YouTube chat. That's my bad. I believe the Bible if it explained phenomena like black holes and gravity. If I were God, I would explain things that would take humans centuries to figure out. Yeah, me too. That's what I would do. Hey, there are black holes. You know, gravity's so strong that the light can't even escape it. Now that would be that would be really convincing. But no, yeah, flood that happened with more water than the Earth has on it. There, you know that totally happened. I guess where two of each animal on the planet fit into one boat, and then landed in Turkey, and then went back to their homelands. I guess. Like, come on, man. What are we doing? What's your opinion on Greek gods? Nothing positive or negative. I know a little bit about the pantheon, and I mean, narratively speaking, it's a pretty cool story. Pretty cool story. I like the Egyptian pantheon a bit better though. Don't call CPS on me, dude. Come on, man. All right, I'm sorry. I'll pay better attention. We have prophets in the chat. Oh, yeah, yeah, that too. God created the earth for more than just humans, oceans that majority of life does live in. Or, hear me out, the majority of life is in the ocean, and humans are not in the ocean because humans evolved to not live in the water. Hey man, I would love to have a conversation with you to discuss the Bible and some related subjects. I'm not quite sure how this stuff works, so I don't use Twitch. Just happen to catch you on YouTube. If you want to talk to me off stream, the easiest ways to do so are via joining my Discord or adding me on Snapchat. One of those two. But like DMs, I'm kind of phasing those out a little bit. But yeah, if you're on Twitch, so it would be in my my about. Yeah, I put it in my about. Yeah, you can just click my about. It's probably like a little blurb there. It's got the little link tree icon. Just click the picture and you'll see all my socials and stuff. My Discord and Snapchat should be there. If you're on Twitch, I'd imagine you have a Discord. Did you ever get a chance to feel the Holy Spirit? Not really. No, I wouldn't say so. One family repopulating the planet. Yeah. 1,500 different ethnicities from 8 people, I guess. Over only 4,000 years later. Look up Tacitus, Josephus, and plenty of the younger non-Christians who wrote about Jesus. None of them even claim to be for first-hand accounts. Have you even actually read Apiculae, or the Annals, or the Testimonium Flavianum? I have. You know, not multiple times over. Let's be real here, but like once for each. None of them claim to have met Jesus firsthand. They talk about Crestus. They talk about Christians during the time. They talk about a lot of different things related to Christianity, but none of them claim that to have met a Jesus who actually rose from the dead. Plus, I have no problem granting that Jesus as a regular person existed, but, Son of God, rose from the dead, multiplied fish, did alchemy. Yeah, I'm going to call a cap on that. What denomination were you when you were a Christian? I was a Baptist for 16 years, and then I was apostolic for 2 years. And then, I don't consider, in the year I was deconstructing, I don't consider myself having a denomination. Because I moved, I've been in multiple churches, and we weren't trying to strictly stick to Baptist churches, but when I was in the Baptist church, I believed what the Baptists believed, despite the fact that I went to a couple, one Universalist church, one Pentecostal church once for one Sunday. So, just consider myself Baptist. Pliny did not know who the Christians were when he wrote about them in 111 CE. Have you read Annals? Am I even thinking of yeah, it's Annals for Pliny. Yeah, it is Annals for Pliny. Yeah, have you even read it? What's the best argument to religious people? Oh, man. I don't know if there's a best. There's so many good ones. Cause, from the outside in, I guess, it's part bias, but just speaking objectively, all of them work. But when it comes to people that believe in something like that, I like to be as pragmatic as possible. I don't like to hit them over the head with you have no justification for all of the big fancy words. Just if a book claims that animals can talk, there's talking animals, you have every right to call cap on that book. If the book claims one thing and then claims the opposite of that thing later on, you have a good reason to call cap on it, especially when it's supposed to be inspired by a an all-knowing God. You know. What do you think about Muslims? I like Muslims. I've grown up around them. It's not Muslims I have the issue with. I've read the Quran. Not read it, but you know, halfway through it mostly. Most of the way through it, like I want to say like 60% through it. Which surah is which surah is 87? The 87th surah? Which one is that? I don't know, but that's like 60% of the way done with it. And it's the book I have an issue with. It's not the people at all. It's, you know, it's always I always try to put person first, religion second. Anyway, are you insane, Prophet? If he was so merciful, why did he give us a germ theory of disease or a recipe for penicillin? Yeah. But he helped somebody find their car keys, I guess. I don't know. Turn to Christ? No thank you, daily Christian videos. Ran into Christians and wrote to the emperor about who they were and what he did to... Watchman, I feel like you're getting sidetracked here. How does any of this prove God, by the way? Because at the absolute very best, it gets to Jesus existed. Okay, fine. Now, you know, what I care about is the supernatural claims. I don't care about Jesus existing for the same reason I don't care about the fact that Muhammad existed. You know, Muhammad did exist. Doesn't mean I'm going to be a Muslim. Because was he actually the prophet of Allah? Did Allah actually exist? Conversely, Jesus, did he exist? I have no problem granting it. But was he the son of God? Did he actually rise from the dead? That's the real meat and potatoes. So just to make sure, you know, we can sit here and have a Will Ospreay versus Ricochet, you know, wrestling match all we want to, do the flips and the performance pieces and shit, but I care about the real stuff. Agnostic atheist? Oh, you're talking, oh, shit. Well, shit. Well, shit. That was mistaken, my bad. Muslim but still respect you? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, I appreciate that. And you know what? I respect you. Absolutely. Only Supernatural I care about is the show. I haven't seen a single episode of Supernatural. It came on all the time when I was a kid, and I didn't catch a single episode of it, at least all the way through. Wrestling fan, yeah, big wrestling fan, especially WWE and AEW. WWE for storylines, AEW for actual matches. But yeah, Will Ospreay is a beast. Why am I rage? Are you rage baiting? If so, well done. Oh wait, no, never mind. Someone needs to tell me how Jesus fulfilled any messianic prophecies. A spoiler alert: he didn't. Not even one. He was at best retrofitted to fulfill them. They say, "Oh, got this manuscript that says the Messiah will say, you know, Father, why have you forsaken me? You know this guy? Let's just write him into saying, Father, why have you forsaken me? Easy. But you're not even one." I don't know how Ospreay does it. Dude's actually, I don't know. Ricochet is nice, but Ricochet is like, the thing with him is, you know, he can do the flips and everything, but his personality's flat. I'm liking what they're doing with this Swerve Strickland feud, but personality's a little flat. Mic skills are a little flat, and doesn't really have any impactful moves like that. Ospreay, he knows how to mix like devastating looking moves with the gymnastics. Wrestling is gay is crazy. Wrestling is gay from somebody who's actually homosexual is the funniest thing ever. How the hell does that work? I have a quite literal homosexual saying that wrestling is gay. I mean, where do we go from there? Do we pack it up? We just pack it up, pack it in. There could not have been a better person to say it. That one stung. Because you would know, right? With, you know, by the way, TikTok, with all due respect, you know, but just saying, they were quite literally gay. So they would know. But anyway, Rollins is my guy, though. Yeah, I love Rollins, dude. I like him. I like Cody, too. Real big fan of Cody Rhodes. Taz, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. If anyone's curious, I have a doc listing missed prophecies and ones that the New Testament tried to fill, some mistranslated to Hebrew. Ooh, interesting. I'd be interested. Would help me in my shutdowns later. You know what ultimately I want to do? I probably should write a book eventually. On like a pragmatic look at deconstruction. Because I feel like when it comes to, not believing in a religion, that it doesn't have to be that hard. Look at the claims, see how they hold up to reality. If they don't, it doesn't hold up to reality. Isn't it sad that people will believe in God and change their whole life for a fairy tale? It is kind of sad, but I mean, I don't blame them for it, really, honestly. Everybody who's I wouldn't say everybody, but most people who are religious nowadays got it from their culture and their parents, and they got it from their culture and their parents, and a lot of them just don't know how to stop it or have a mind to stop it, because especially if it's written in that not believing in a thing is gonna end up with you going to hell or something. Adrenaline in my soul. Something, something, Chody loves. Have you ever considered the reasons why you left the faith? One thing that set off my deconstruction journey was trying too hard to be an apologist, watching dozens of hours of lie debates. The thing that started me leaving my faith was reading the Bible. That's what started it. And then after I finished it, I was like, God seems like kind of a, like a jerk, kind of seems like he values some things that are kind of weird. Truth SR, thank you for the follow. And I think I missed one. I didn't miss one, but thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. But yeah, that's what started it. That's what kicked things off, was actually reading the Bible. I'm like, okay, well, I'm 18 now. I want to dedicate the rest of my life to God. I might as well read the Word, right? Yeah, it's funny how that works. Why do you not think he's real? I just don't see any evidence for him being real. And also, if you're talking about the Christian God in particular, there's good reasons to believe that the stories describing him are completely fake, and that they're just written for the purposes of control by people who didn't know what they were talking about. Sup, Hugh? What's up, pentagram emoji? How you doing? Look into your actual name or username real quick, so don't. Backseat Bandit is a crazy name, but yeah, what's up, dude? How you doing? How's your day going? Ex-Christian, the atheist here too. Let's go, Truth. Hell yeah. Username checks out. Let's go. It's been a long time, man. Where you been? What's up, Jordans? Yeah, funny story. So I got suspended on this account for a week, and then, well, no, I got suspended for a week for from live streams, and then after that week was over, the entire account got suspended for like a week and a half or something like that. Logged back into, so in the meantime, I was streaming on my alt account. And then came back here, and then like as soon as I got it back, I like fell into like a it's been a rough few couple weeks. Couple weeks. It feels like a couple weeks. It feels like it's been forever. But it fell into a little bit of a little depression episode, and didn't really feel like streaming very often. But I'm back now, so we're good. What do you think about after death? I don't think there's anything afterward. I think you just cease to exist personally. I think that's where it is. I should state, I am at this current point Catholic, but here's my claim. The Bible itself is not written by God, rather prophets who received revelation and rightly and faithfully understood that revelation. However, they wrote it in ways that would be understandable to the people at that time. Also, due to the fact that people wrote the Bible, it's understandable that there are errors and contradictions in the Bible. This would indicate that the Bible is indeed the inspired word of God. I would think that if somebody's a prophet, in which case that they are to be trusted with properly conveying God's message, and the God that whose message they're conveying is all knowing, then they would not be able to not have to, that wouldn't check out. Personally, if I was perfect, or at least all knowing, was directly on the phone with somebody, let's say okay, this is gonna be a stupid analogy, but let's say like there's somebody at the store, never mind, I'm not gonna go for it, but because it's such a dumb analogy, but yeah, I would think that if he's an all-knowing God is inspiring people, then there's no room for error. Because you can just tell them, oh, this is going to lead to some errors in the future. Make sure to write it this exact way. So that doesn't work for me, brother. Are you deconstructed or always atheist? I'm deconstructed. I was not an atheist. I was a Christian for 19 years. I was a Christian until I was 19. And then at 18, I started reading the Bible, and then thought about God differently after I finished it, and then after that, looked into the evidence, and all of it sucked. Have you thought of the idea of living in eternity? For me, at least as a Christian, it's overwhelming. Yeah, that would suck, honestly. No matter what an eternal future looks like, yeah, I think it would suck. An eternal bliss sounds like that would get boring after a while. Eternal torture, obviously, that's like no shit, that's gonna suck, right? But eternal anything just sounds awful. I would hope if there was like a heaven or like some realm of reward for living a good life or whatever, I would hope that you get the option to cease to exist whenever you want to. Cause that'd be pretty chill. I get like my own universe or planet to myself or something, and I could just shape it however I want to, and then just whenever I'm done, just say, okay, well, that's it. See you later. That'd be pretty cool. Hugh, what's up? What's up, Caleb? How you doing today? How's your day going? Let me catch up on the prophets. Prophets. Let me see. Magical BFF is going to let you in heaven if you obey him. Sounds about right. Can I get another hug? I got you. 1 second. There you go. Do you do calls on stream? I'm a devout Christian. You seem interesting to talk to. Typically, sometimes here and there. It's not my main focus though, because I'm not like a after. Because what happens is like, if I bring up everybody that wants to call, like when there's a decent amount of viewers, like I used to get a lot more viewers than this, but when there's a decent amount of viewers, that becomes the whole stream. I can't pay attention to anybody in the chat, and I don't think that either not having the amount of followers, not being on the right platform, or not having the social battery to want to come up should disqualify you from getting the talk or from me responding to you. So there's a couple reasons. Plus, like, people are weird, so I get a lot of debate bros. Which, I mean, obviously, if they're trying to debate, like, by all means, go for it. But they're like the heliophobic types. You can tell they don't leave their house. Scripts ready and everything. Like, come on, dude, what are we doing? Just get people wanting to come up, be disrespectful. And I wouldn't mind it per se, but I can't clap back in the way I want to because TikTok really dislikes this account for some odd reason. So I get banned, suspended for a week. So I don't know. Real toxic. Ugh. See you later. Have a good rest of your night. Ugh. You were never a Christian. You were never in my chat. Ugh. Eternal anything sounds awful. So universe isn't eternal now. I'm not existing for the entirety of the universe though. I would hope we're not being. I would hope our brain's not that far gone, right? That anything that you experience eternally would suck. I don't experience the entirety of the universe. We're not joking, right? I've been alive for 28 years. There were like 14.8 billion years before me. There's going to be like a bunch after that we can verify. So I don't know what to tell you. Darth Dawkins called in. Yeah, he called in. It was fun. It was hilarious. Anyway, let me catch up on chat real quick. Why'd you decide to leave Christianity? I wouldn't say decided to leave per se. I would say I stopped being convinced of Christianity being true because the evidence was lacking. Start a live to say you're an atheist. You must be hella intellectual. User 317-451-159-0349. I'm going to mute you for one reason and one reason only. Because you used the wrong your. That's quite literally it. You used the wrong your, and that's the only reason you're getting muted. If you're going to come in and antagonize, at least make sure your grammar is straight. Is that fair to ask of people? You want to come in, you want to say something, do a little concern trolling? Okay, by all means, go for it. I'm a big boy. I can take it. I'm a reformed troll myself. I get it. But at least use the right grammar. Like, come on, man. Ex-Christian, you were never Christian then? That's not how that works, unfortunately. Do you believe in evolution then? Evolution is true whether or not you're a Christian or atheist or whatever. There's more than enough evidence supporting evolution. Fossil-ass age. All right, skeptical. Enough. All right. Enough of you. Yeah. 28. That's too old. Come on. You're 20. Ah, shit. I just read that second part. Come on. I'm unconvinced that God exists. Same. All right, let's bring up this guest real quick that I quite literally just muted for. Oh, wait, no, never mind. Oh, move your feet, lose your seat. Hey, how'd it happen? Happens. I think life came from lava, among many other things, over the course of millions and millions and millions of years. Protocells being able to form from RNA. Yeah, it makes perfect sense to me. But even then, that's not what evolution claims. It's abiogenesis. It's an entirely different field of study. Oh, what is that username? So I can thank you properly. Loving Life 99. Thank you for the 5 roses. I appreciate it. You know what I'm gonna do with those 5 roses? Want to take them to the corner store, buy 3 Zuzus and 2 Wham Whams? Hell yeah. Thank you for it. Appreciate it. What's your purpose? I don't think there's an objective purpose. I think it's up to individuals to decide their own purpose. If you're asking me mine, though, I think my purpose is to experience the things that I want to experience and to make the lives of the people around me as easy as possible. What did they eat? I want you to look at. Firstly, before we start, do you know about the basic claims of abiogenesis and protocells, and RNA, and all this good stuff? No, sir. Okay, well, I mean, I'm not trying to wave you off here, but I don't know how productive of a conversation it would be if I speak from like a rudimentary understanding to somebody with like it would be a lot to explain. I would say look it up on Wikipedia, check out the sources, the citations at the end of the sentences, and it'll probably lead you in the right direction. Not to be sarcastic in the slightest, but what's up, Burger? You think to answer your question, Jordan's though, yeah, I didn't read the Hadith yet, but I've read the part that described his wife's age, and so yeah, you are 100% correct. When you have the opportunity, can you clarify your position a little more? I wanted to ask you a follow-up question. If God forced us to write down exactly what he wanted without room for, I guess, room for the authors having literary interpretation, wouldn't this contradict our free agency? I don't think, would it? I think it would contradict your free agency in the way that a boss wanting their employees to do their job correctly would violate their free agency, Like, let's say if I worked at, say, a McDonald's, and my boss is like, okay, I want you to go mop the bathrooms real quick. And I instead go in there and sweep the bathrooms. It's not a violation of my free agency if he says, like, all right, you're fired. What the fuck are you doing, Conversely, if God's choosing prophets to, give his revelations to, and he's like, all right, just use your free agency and freestyle it and do whatever, write whatever hocus pocus you want in there, instead of the words that I want you to communicate to people to save their souls. That just doesn't work for me, honestly. I think neither are probable. It makes more sense, at least as a non-believer, to bake on chance of heaven. I don't know. What's funny? This is as an aside before I get to get back to what you said directly. I just did a video, recorded a video today of there was a Christian asking atheists if they even want to go to heaven, if they want, if it were proven to be true, and I did a response to that, so that comes out tomorrow. But to answer you directly though, I can't choose my beliefs. I can't choose to be convinced in the face of what appears to be a very false fictional narrative, So I don't know. God does horrible things to humans. Indeed, he does, or did. Also, what's up, Dr. Joe? I'm gonna do another goal real quick. Let me extort my followers for money real quick. And by money, I mean literal pennies. I can't even get unless I, get over a certain threshold. 1 chili, just to spice things up. What's this dude making a whole TikTok page about not being a Christian? For the same reason that you're in my comment section, despite religiously disagreeing with me, because you felt like you had something to say. In the same way, I feel like I have something to say. I feel like people should critically think about why they believe the things they do. I think people should have the opportunity to engage with somebody that thinks differently than they do, and I think people should learn the basics of the things that they try to apologize for. I'm cool, right? Have a good rest of your night, brother. Take care. Have a good one. Much love. Is that a Jason? Who's Jason? I forget his last name, but something. He used to be with David Dobrik on his vlogs. Whatever the fuck. Profile picture spamming USA. We love the USA. Not really, but yeah. What are we doing? Come on, calm that out. All right, let me catch up real quick. Oh yeah, if they're spamming like that, Dr. Joe, don't even warn them about it. Just throw them out. Just send them packing. Send them to the fucking shadow realm. Put them in a coffin, put the lid on, and just nail it in. Also, Brumahosen, thank you for the chili, and Loving Life 99, thank you for the 53 roses. I appreciate it. Roses. Appreciate that a lot. Ugh, what do you want to debate if you don't believe? Assuming that debate is the primary thing of this channel is was your first mistake, but to answer your question, I entertain debate and entertain talking to people altogether because I want people to critically think about why they believe the things they believe. A lot of people go their whole life dedicating themselves to something that they haven't even thought about. So I don't know what to tell you. Just want to come up and ask you something. You know what? You gift it. Why not? Yeah, fuck it. Let's do it. Yeah, why not? Let's do it. Pay to win? Yes, actually.
Yo, I
Yeah,
just wanted to. It says ask you anything.
sure.
What's your favorite dinosaur?
Favorite dinosaur? Ankylosaurus is my favorite dinosaur.
That's the one with the fucking
What?
hammer on the
Yeah,
tail, right?
yeah,
Bro, me too.
yeah.
Did you know that's like the first dinosaur to have mummified skin
No
that was
shit.
discovered?
No shit. Seriously?
Yes, sir.
I would hope so. If you have a fucking hammer for your tail, that maybe your skin would survive that long, you know. But hell,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's all. That's legit why I sent you all those roses. I just wanted to ask you because I host this exact same type of live, and I'm going to in a minute. It's legit. I'm an atheist. Ask me anything. And when I say anything, I mean anything, just not being having to do with atheism.
Yeah,
I
same.
just use that as a tagline.
Yeah, same. Us people come in here asking all types of shit, and I'll gladly answer any of it, except if they ask when it curves, if curves to the left or not. Then I'm not going to answer that. We'll leave that to the imagination, you know. But
Oh yeah, nah. See, I gave some guys some relationship advice last night on my live, so
I think I gave somebody some advice once on how to stop their constipation. So it can go anywhere, honestly.
how? Okay, I gotta ask now. How does one stop constipation?
The best drug for you, PPG, is it 3350 or something like that? It's you know, it's in Miralax. There's a prescription strength of it. So it comes in little packets. It'll get you done. Just don't eat while on it. You know.
Okay,
Just
because
don't.
I have IBS, so I deal with that shit all the time.
Oh yeah, it'll get you right. It'll get you right. All right. Imagine Niagara
Well,
Falls, but it was like diet brown. Yeah, there you go.
so like Niagara Falls.
Yeah. Enough. All right, man. All right, man. Appreciate. You know, I'm gonna give you a follow. I can't.
Well, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you for having me up.
Yeah, appreciate you. Yeah, and thank you for the roses again.
Oh yeah, no problem. I got them all gifted to me last night, so I just returned the favor.
Hell yeah. You know what I'm gonna do with those? I'm gonna keep them. I'm not giving those out. I need to pay my rent. I need this 29 cents. Well, yeah. Any new games you waiting to play? When GTA 6 comes out, I'm probably not gonna leave my room for like at least 2 weeks. I don't know. See what we got here. Oh, Soldier's just with a name like Elijah, you're definitely not 18 yet. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but I know exactly what dinosaur there is, Brimahosen. What songs you listen to? I listen to a little bit of everything. The kick that I'm on now though is like 2000s heartbreak music. I'm talking Parachutes era Coldplay, A Rush of Blood to the Head era Coldplay, The Fray, The Script, old Avril Lavigne, old Hillary Duff. You know, like imagine turning on like your radio in your 2005 Honda Civic, driving home from your job at Kmart on like the top 40. And that's probably what I'm listening to right now. But I listen to a little bit of everything. But that's just my kick at the moment. Let's see what we got here. Buddhism makes way more sense than Christianity. Yeah, it does. Indeed, it does. Yeah, but a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Seem like a great man praying for you. Aww. I mean, can I ask you one favor though? Just one favor. Do not pray for me. Instead, use like the prayer power or whatever, like however it works. I want you to use that for the kids dying of cancer at the St. Jude Children's Research Center. I want you to do that. Trust me, I don't need it. You know, I got a job, I got a roof over my head, I got people that love me. I'm doing just fine over here. Pray for the kids that are dying of cancer quite literally right now. They need it. Sarah, what's up, Sarah? How you doing today? How's your day? How's your day? How's your night? How's your life? How's everything? How are you? It's good to see you. It's good to see you. All right, I'll catch up on YouTube chat. It's good to see you in the chat, Sarah. Hell yeah. All right, I see somebody on. So the better analogy would be this: the boss told the employee to do his task, and he rightly understood what the task was after understanding that he completed the task. But the employee completed the task by a process that he chose. For instance, he mopped the bathroom floor before mopping the dining room floor. It's not a matter of the order of tasks, though. It's like what gets done. With a boss and employee, does the floor get mopped? And with God and the prophets, did the proper message get conveyed? That God could communicate to the prophets any way that he wanted to. You know, that's what we're looking at here. So, you know, I'm not a huge fan of that analogy. But yeah, good to see you. Good. Love to see it. Love to see it. Host put me in the box. You know what? Why not? Let's put you in the box. Let's see what you got to say. You obviously don't know what you're talking about. We're going to figure this out right now. Let's see if you know what you're talking about. How old are you for TikTok purposes? How old are you for TikTok purposes? Dude's gooning. Are we joking? Dude's just gooning on the mic. He's typing with one hand. Are we joking? Did y'all hear him? Am I tripping? Dude's letting one go. Like, huh? Dude asked to be let up. I let him up. He's just like, all right, let me crank one. Are we like, huh? Come on, dude. Set another goal. I'll set another goal. Why not? You're not tripping? Okay. Because I got to keep myself grounded, you know? I feel like I'm on medication sometimes, and I might, you know, might be hearing things differently. Yeah, I'll set another goal real quick. Let's get another penny out of you guys. Let's do some extortion. Why'd you change? I looked for evidence and found all of the evidence unconvincing. That's why I changed. Your live is whack. You know what made it extra whack? You coming up here gooning on the microphone. That made it extra whack. You would know what whack is. You whacked on the microphone. Why'd I even say that? What? Come on, what are we doing? Oh man, Sarah, thank you so much for the finger heart. I appreciate it. You can't see it, but I'm sending one back. I gotta get a webcam, dude. I need a webcam. I need a webcam immediately. Oh yes, Sarah, my sense of humor. I apologize ahead of time. It's not good. It ain't a good sense of humor. No, you need a wife. I need a wife. I need a wife. Just tell me I need a wife. I'm working on it. You changed your username? I did change my username. Yes. Also, True, thank you for the lightning bolt and the 5 lightning bolts total. Appreciate you. Hell yeah. You know what I'm gonna do? I got 69 coins. No, diamonds. 69 diamonds. Oh man. That's a full tank of gas right there. Alright, let's bring up another guest real quick. With a name like Alex, it has to be good. Alex.
Dude, how's it going?
How's it going? How old are you for TikTok purposes?
I'm 20.
What
So
Pokemon is that on your profile picture?
That's Bidoof. First of all, coolest Pokemon there is. I just wish he wasn't, terrible.
Damn. You know what Pokemon I feel like that about? Tauros. The cannon fodder of the...
Which one is that again?
It's quite literally just a bull. Like the bull from the early
Oh, yeah, I
generations.
know what you're talking about.
Yeah, just straight up bull. Just useless cannon fodder. Just... Hey, Tauros, be a steak, I guess. I suppose.
Yeah, and there's that one, like, cow one, that, like, their whole thing is that they have, like, milk moves.
If I make the joke I want to make,
real
I'll
stuff.
get
It gets
suspended.
crazy.
I can't make the joke I want to make, but all right.
Well, first of all, I just want to say I like what you're doing, and I appreciate the, like, not debating thing. That's not what I'm here for. I just think it's cool how open you are about your, like, perspective on this stuff.
Oh, I appreciate it, man.
So I just want to say I like how you run this.
Yeah.
So I am.
We run a tight ship around here, and stuff.
Dude, I like it. So I'm a super devout Christian, but also only recently. And I was raised in a Christian household, but I never really got it. So first question I just have for you as an atheist who was, a Christian in the Bible, do you think generally that Christians are illogical or irrational?
That's a tough one to answer because, like, I think the faith itself or the story itself is illogical. You know, obviously, I would be in it if it weren't, right? If it, if it weren't, but so I would think to confine yourself to it is kind of an illogical move. But that being said, a lot of people don't choose their faith, don't choose what they're convinced of. So, I mean, it's. I've
Okay.
seen both. Honestly, it depends on the person. It's person to person.
So here's the thing for me. A lot of the stuff in the Bible, I totally understand, seems pretty crazy. Like if you just go to Genesis, Moses, one of the prophets, he wrote the Torah, first 5 books. If you inspect the creation closely, we lived with dinosaurs, is what that suggests. That the rain from the flood used to be suspended above the sky, and it used to not rain on Earth, and like water came up from the ground. Very hard to believe things.
Yeah.
But what do you think about Jesus and his existence and what the historians of the time, secular ones, said about him?
As a person, did he exist? I mean, I have no problem granting it. Did I think he's the son of God? Absolutely not. Do I think, by extension, if I don't think God's real, but I think he rose from the dead.
Right.
No. Did I think he made water into wine? Maybe if he added some grapes to it and left it around for a few weeks, sure. But multiply a fish, maybe if he sit him, did some fishy breeding or something, maybe. But just on the spot, no. But yeah, I don't think he did any. I don't think he was a supernatural guy. That's what I'm getting at.
What about what happened to Caesar? Like how he was stabbed in the back by like a bunch of knives, or he had like 20 stab wounds.
Yeah.
Do you believe in that? Do you think that that there's reliable evidence to believe in that history?
I think that there's no good reason to question it. Like, could it have not happened? Absolutely. Do I have a reason to think that it didn't happen? Not really. Because I mean, guy gets stabbed in the back. That happens. We know that happens. But people rising from the dead. There's a lot less. What's the word I'm looking for here? Data
Evidence
to work off there. Yeah.
Right. No, like scientific basis for it.
Yeah. But
so, what the reason I asked that question is, as pertains to the evidence of Caesar, like the famous Augustus one that we all were like taught about in school, there are only 3 surviving documents that happened and that he even existed, because it was all handwritten. It was all in tablets. They were still in the same era. I mean, during the time of Jesus's during his mission, there were Caesars in Rome. I think it was like Pontius Caesar.
were they little
But
Caesars or
regardless-
like big Caesars?
No, big Caesars, like Rome, like Augustus Caesar kind of
Yeah.
thing.
It was a piece
Um,
of joke. All right, my bad.
No, I got the pizza joke. I laughed at it, brother. I laughed at it. So, there's not very many surviving documents of his existence, but generally speaking, and I'm not sure if you're of this category, atheists will 100% believe that happened because it was taught in school, that it is logical history. But as you look at Jesus, we have 4 surviving eyewitness testimonies. It's not a lot. That is 1 more than Caesar's. But then we have over 300 secular historians of the time that were writing about the events in Judea and Jerusalem, who were not subscribed to the faith. They were not prophets. They never claimed to be. They were just trying to do their job. And they spoke of Jesus as a man with magical powers, that he rose from the dead. So from a secular perspective, they still thought that this dude was something else.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard that one before. I'll need to see your source on that one, honestly, because I know about the Annals. I've read the Annals. I've read the Epiculae, and I've read the Testimonium Flavianum and Antiquities. But normally, when people mention hundreds of witnesses or verifiable this, that, and the third, they're just referring to what Paul said in 1 Corinthians 15:6.
Mm-hmm. What's your definition of verifiable when it comes to written historical evidence?
We'd have to know that the person existed by some other corroboration through. There'd have to be some meat on the bone, basically, because if it's just one claim here, there's no documentation supporting it, there's no archaeology supporting it, then it's. I'm not saying I toss it out automatically, but it just depends on what they're claiming.
Well, there is archaeology supporting Jesus as a person, like as a human being that existed and claimed to be the Son of God. We can agree on that, right?
Yeah, I'll grant it. Why not?
Like, we found the tomb. You have the shroud that he was, killed in.
I wouldn't go with either of those, honestly, because there's multiple claims of found.
Really?
Yeah, there's multiple claims of like found tombs throughout the region. Let's say it's in one place here, one place another, somewhere else. Plus,
So
if
the
he
fact
was
that they can't agree on it.
fact that they can't agree on it. Plus, back in Rome, do correct me if I'm wrong, if you're adept on history, but if somebody was executed by crucifixion, didn't they not get a tomb? They just got thrown into a mass grave.
Well, biblically speaking, I'm a little more educated on the Gospels than I would say general history.
Fair.
The senator of the area, he believed in Jesus at the time, and this is again speaking from the eyewitness testimonies, the Gospels of the Bible. He asked for the body because he wanted to give it a proper burial. But what is pretty convincing, I know you were talking about the prophets and how do you know if the prophets said the exact thing, if there's even free will? How would they exercise their free will to say the exact thing? So the first mentioning of the crucifixions, and I don't remember exactly what book it might have been in like Job or in like Elijah. It mentions how the Messiah to come is going to be crucified, but when we carbon date manuscripts of the Old Testament, that was like 1500 years before the crucifixion of Christ, and crucifixion was not yet a method of corporal punishment or capital punishment.
Yeah. When I hear that, I just hear something that could have possibly been retrofitted backwards. Just something being written in so that it makes. I have no reason to. I'm not just trying to automatically shut it down on the spot just because it goes against my worldview, but yeah, it's just
right.
If retrofitting it, from post manuscript date is possible, then it's going to be more likely than actually something that was prophesied and turned out to be true.
Well, there were, numbering over 300 prophecies in the Old Testament, and 300 of which were fulfilled, according to the testimonies of the eyewitnesses. Okay. Which is all we have for other historical figures as well, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna need to see your source on that one too. I don't see how Jesus fulfilled quite literally any of the prophecies whatsoever. Plus, if he was just, if they had access to the manuscripts during the time, it would make perfect sense for them to say, "Oh, this guy that we want to make the Messiah, we can just say he fulfilled all these prophecies written about in this book."
Good point. And some of them are kind of a stretch, I've noticed. Like for example, like in one of the Gospels, it mentions that his last words were like Ella Shabaketh. There was something in Aramaic that means like my God, why have you forsaken me? But then my Bible has like a cross references tab, so I can go back and forth and see like, oh, if this was fulfillment of a prophecy, which it said it was in parentheses in the Gospel. I was like, oh, let me go check it out, and it was a psalm of King David, where it was just the first line was my God, why have you forsaken me? And then it continues just go on like a woeful hymn.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's one of the prophecies that they're counting. As a prophecy, it's not really a strong claim.
Yeah, I would agree on that for sure. As far as what I hear from people that are more adept in actual, because I've only read the Bible twice, but who are actually adept in biblical study, they generally don't agree that he fulfilled any prophecies whatsoever. Despite some of them being yeah.
Well, there's some pretty obvious ones, crucifixion, Son of God will come down as man.
Yeah.
Like if you actually look at the definitions.
Really quickly, Ursula. I'm so sorry, Ursula. Thank you for the something. Oh, the heart, man. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, by all means, continue.
Okay. Yeah, no problem for doing your live stream stuff. If you go back to Moses' writing, his first 5 books, Genesis. You said you read it twice. Those like long like bullshit like lineages that you kind of skip over?
I didn't skip over them. I was sitting here like trying to understand them both times, but yeah.
And trying to like pronounce the names too. I'm like, yeah, dude, these names are crazy.
Shem and Hafim and Phlegm and Kim and Pim and yeah.
And then there's just like a Joseph randomly in there. So the lineage of Adam down to Noah is in one of the first chapters of Genesis, and I've just done the looking up and Googling of this for the answers. But if you look up the definitions of each name in order that they're presented in the Bible, you actually get, if you piece together the like shorthand definitions, a prophecy of the Messiah.
Yeah, that's a bit of a stretch, dude.
I've looked.
Ooh. 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 Will we ever know? He makes no ridiculous claims. It talks about miracles, and I hope God forgives all of you for your sin. Blah, 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 dude. I don't know what you want me to do with that one. Oop, there we go. Oh. Okay, I guess not. Well, yeah, it makes plenty of the ridiculous claims, dude. Snake talking, a woman made from a rib, dude made from dust. These are very ridiculous.
You're just checking. Am I still on?
Yeah, you're still here.
Oh, okay.
Now you're not. Every time you click away from the app, that's where it mutes you out.
Shit, I'm not gonna be able to tell you because I have it on a different tab.
If you want, you could just DM me if you know, I respond to my DMs.
Oh yeah, I can send it to you later. But if you read it, it's like Adam means like man, the next name means like appointed, and it kind of just like man appointed like from God, you know, sorrow and pain to fulfill, and then like something else. Like it's a pretty rudimentary thing, but it's also a coincidence that you kind of can't count off, I think. You just look up what like Adam means.
I mean, could it be coincidence, or could it be like an intentional literary device by the writers at the time?
But now the writer was Moses, and those tablets, the commandments that he said that he wrote, we found those, and that's been dated, you know, far before Jesus.
Oh yeah, I don't found the tablets with the 10 Commandments on them.
Dude, no, I swore we had like a fragment that we thought was it, and it had like a little bit of writing, and yeah. I think it was Greek because Moses was Greek.
Yeah, I've heard plenty of things, like found ark, found chariot wheels, and a bunch of different things, but they all come back to hoaxes, mostly from Ron Wyatt back in the 90s.
Well, I know they didn't find the ark. That's pretty crazy. It's a big wooden structure. You'd find a plank first if it was there. But I mean, yeah, and also like chariot wheels that could have been thrown in the ocean. You know what I mean?
Plus, they come like the actual the quote unquote wheels that they show were just like coral grown in the region. But beside the point.
So I wanted. Oh, sorry for interrupting.
No, you're good.
I wanted to get a kind of a better understanding of your if there's a heaven idea, because I didn't feel like I totally got what you were saying.
No, I don't.
So if I was atheist and there was like maybe a chance of a heaven, what if God, you know, didn't fully need you to really, really believe, and you just kind of had to like have a little bit of trust? Do you think you could squeeze that juice out?
No, I couldn't personally. From somebody who's studied the Bible as much as I have, and I wouldn't say I'm super scientifically minded, but knows as much. Is that the Benjamin? Is that the Benjamin I heard?
No, that's just a vape. That's just a vape.
Okay, I was gonna say no, but
that would have been a little crazy.
No, but I've read the Bible twice. I know at least rudimentary level about a lot of different scientific concepts that would help one with their religion, like biology, physics, things like that. And I'm so far removed from the doctrine, and it's so very obviously from the outside in, just seems to be something written for the purposes of controlling the masses during a time where Rome wanted to expand their influence.
Right.
It's just not something I could wrap my mind around, honestly, unless there was like real, actual, tangible, pragmatically useful evidence.
So what do you think about like creation in general? So I'm going to give you a little bit of like my background that I'm not even, I don't even have like full education there. I haven't looked into that, development of life that you mentioned. But we've discovered mathematically that the universe did have a beginning. And you said you're scientifically minded on it, right? You don't believe in the Big Bang?
Oh no, the Big Bang definitely happened, but the Big Bang isn't claimed to be the beginning of energy or time or space or the universe or anything like that.
Right, like black hole theory kind of stuff?
Yeah, it's the Big Bang's just a point of expansion of the universe used to be in a super hot, super dense state, and then the Big Bang is the point that it expanded from that super hot, super dense state. It's a common misconception, but
why do you think there's a universe to begin with?
I mean, these are the questions, but I don't see why there wouldn't be one way or the other. I think if a universe can exist in our reality, in and of itself, then and it does, and I mean that makes perfect sense to me. Also, really quickly, I just got my favorite question. What's your favorite food? My favorite food is pizza. Pizza's my favorite food.
That's your favorite question, but you got such a boring answer.
Yeah, I love pizza, dude. I'm like a teenage mutant ninja. All right, I'll be more specific.
Dude, that Papa John's joke or that Little Caesars joke just got deeper, bro. I see the passion in that joke.
It's always on the mind. But yeah, no, pizza with bacon, jalapeno, dill, cilantro. Um, I say Detroit style, but they always make Detroit style too thick. And I don't know, so maybe it's like if they can make like a thinner Detroit style, that would be pretty lit. But yeah,
You like Chicago style?
Chicago's good, but it always gets too soupy, and like they never get the crust under the toppings done correctly. It's weird because they put everything on raw too, so it's like I trust that it's cooked, but it's just sogs out the bottom crust and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I just couldn't wrap my mind around heaven or God or any of it being true, at least from the Christian narrative. Maybe deism, sure, but other than that, no.
So I've thought this in my own religious questioning about, I've asked the question to myself, why have older civilizations, I mean, around the globe, always had religion, even like without organized church?
Yeah.
And so my reasoning for that, from at least from an atheist perspective or from a secular perspective, was that they just didn't know enough. And since they just had the sky to look at, what else could you logically come to?
Exactly. Yeah, I would agree on that for sure. I think the first proto religions were because we looked around, we saw each other, we saw that each other would, that the people around us were capable of things. And then we also had unanswerable questions. All right, what happens to this guy now that he's dead? Who created all this? What's up there? And so we think, what's responsible for that, this, that, and the third? So we just made people like us who had the ability to do the things that could explain
How
these
much
things.
bang could a big bang bang if a big bang could
Do
bang
you think
big?
we came from monkeys?
we share a common ancestor. Really quickly, Gob, thank you for the $1. How much bang could a big bang bang if a big bang could bang big? At least one. At least one. I think that's how much bang it could big for sure. But we share a common ancestor with monkeys. We don't come from monkeys. I mean, technically speaking, evolutionarily, we share a common ancestor with every other living thing.
Right.
I share a common ancestor with an onion.
Tell me a
everyone does.
little bit about this life starting thing. Even from a rudimentary understanding, I kind of just want to know what you're thinking about.
Oh, abiogenesis. So basically, over the course of millions and millions and millions of years, there's water. There's things in the water. There's substances in the water that eventually form the first self-replicating molecules over the course of millions and millions and millions of years of chemical reactions, eventually leading to something that has the ability to self-replicate. And then from there, self-replicates, needs energy to continue that cycle.
Yeah, I was going to get to that next.
Metabolizes.
About how self-replicating needs energy.
Yeah, metabolizes things around it, and then evolves different mechanisms to metabolize things better, and then it's just, smooth sailing from there.
So how do you think? All right, if it's just proteins being mashed together in a kind of soup in some sort of like molecular arrangement over a long time, let's say something that could move and something that was alive came up, right? I mean, we know how complicated DNA is and how many units of precise information has to be put into that.
Yeah.
But let's just say we get to a moving cell. There's another exponential low chance that it would have an adaptation to continue the process of living, because even the most basic single-celled organisms also have organs that have their own individual unique functions, in like mitosis, for example.
Yeah, organelles and stuff. I'll say
so like the complexity just seems like a big barrier for me as a Christian to get around to it wasn't created, because it's just so complex, and like all the chances have to be there.
Well, speaking, I would say, I'm like, which one do I want to address first? Complexity. I mean, let's speak on complexity first. It's normally my favorite thing to go over. I don't see the complexity of ourselves as indicative of a creator, specifically because there are things that are complex about our bodies and our individual cells that are either redundant or unnecessary in
Well,
a
I
lot
want
of
to
different
clarify. I want to
instances.
clarify. I'm not talking about the complexity of humans because, sure, if we got to that first cell that could work,
Yeah,
through adaptation, we could logically get to a human being, even with that complexity.
sure.
But I'm talking about like the single-celled, most basic organisms are still extremely complex in every sense.
Yeah.
You know, they don't even have one strand of DNA. A self-replicating organism needs to have, one DNA cell has like three Encyclopedia Britannicas of like units of information, and you would have to get a lot of DNA. Don't you need like 21? What's in a chromosome? Isn't that two? Two double
Uh,
helixes?
20. I know that's how many chromosomes we have in our genome. Shit, I forget the number somewhere.
And it might
I
be
can tell you.
different for organisms like of that scale. But what do you think of that complexity of the first one? To even also have the chance to self-replicate and have the requirements to get energy.
I think that we as humans have a hard time grasping what millions and millions and millions of years, just how sheerly long that is. And I think that if there was something that had like something that was less complex than an actual single cell organism that had the ability to self replicate and that did self replicate and eventually
And
got
could
to
metabolize.
and could metabolize, and then eventually it would make perfect sense to me that something that is going to replicate will eventually replicate itself into something that needs to be more complex to better, fit the surroundings, to better fit its surroundings.
Uh-huh.
But it's in to me the complexity in and of itself doesn't lead me anywhere just because like I mean the sheer time scale, like I'm 28 years old, let's subtract 3 years from my age, say I'm 25 again. Like let's say a billion years, that's what, 40 million times, am I right
Yeah,
about
dude,
that?
you're flicking on a light switch, like,
Yeah, that's
to
like
the universe.
yeah, that's like 40 million times longer than I've ever been alive at 25. So from to get from you know formation of the planet to the first self-replicating molecules, I mean it's complex, but it had a lot of time to get it right.
Okay. Okay. Do you think that there's extraterrestrial life?
I do think there's extraterrestrials. I don't think we're ever going to reach them though, or if they'll ever reach us, because like just
Yeah.
the sheer amount of space between us, they would have to know where we are, know how to get to us, want to get to us, and get the technology to make that possible. I just don't see that happening.
Yeah, and the time gap too, because if it
Yeah,
took like billions of years for us to get here,
exactly.
they are going to be at some different stage. Even if there's like walking animals,
Yeah,
they're not going to, we're not gonna be able to see them.
even if they're millions of light years away, if they look through their technology or whatever, like they're gonna see dinosaurs. So I wouldn't come here either. So
Why do you think? Why do you think that there's no creatures, subsidiary creatures than us that are even close to rivaling us in intelligence beyond our, like infant and like toddler years?
just because I think that humans don't have the what's the word I'm looking for, natural defense mechanisms that a lot of these other species have. Like I don't see why sharks would have to get as smart as we are when they can just eat their prey. I don't see why like lobsters would have to get as smart as we are when they can just reproduce in such a high number that their survival's not going to really be in question.
Hmm. So I
Tigers.
mean, monkeys are doing just fine. And if we came from, or the ape species, I'll be a little more specific there.
Yeah.
They're doing just fine. So if we came from them, what made us get biologically weaker for the upside of being neurologically stronger?
I couldn't tell you personally. I would have to look more into the evolutionary biology to get you that answer. TBH.
See, yeah, what really gets me though, like as a Christian who's heard the atheist arguments for the most part. I mean, not even extremely well researched in them. That's why I was really trying to get on this call because I was like, dude, I want to hear your stuff.
Yeah.
Is that it still seems like I have to have more faith to believe in another way of life starting.
Hmm.
It still seems like a bigger leap than a God.
And if a god personally resonates with you enough, it's more gives you more conviction than the alternative, the natural explanations, then by all means go for it. But for me, it would be the exact opposite, just personally. you know,
Is it because of the biblical stories,
not even because of the
or
biblical.
just creator? Period.
I mean, creator. I would think like if there was something that was had the ability to create our entire universe, then it would be incomprehensible to us. So it's not worth me thinking about too much. So I don't rule it out one way or the other. But
Well, if you're not ruling it out, and you agree that if it's had that kind of power, right? Because it would have to be of an extreme immensity to, produce this.
sure.
Then wouldn't that answer the question of the I guess ponderance of the ridiculous stories in the Bible? Because that would at least match up with incomprehensibility.
I would I would have a hard time seeing why such an incomprehensible creature would want to create the world in a way that the Bible describes and then also turn off logic and physics and biology and then turn them back on after the events in the Bible.
If you could.
I personally like if I set up a system where people's salvation was contingent on it, I definitely wouldn't. Because like let's take the flood story for
Sure.
instance. More water than the earth has on it or in it or around it. Flooding onto the planet and causing so much compression that plant life wouldn't have been able to grow back. Things like capybaras and koalas swimming across the ocean to get to the Middle East and then swimming back after the waters are receded. Two of each animal
No way.
on a boat
That happens?
No, I'm saying like all this would have had to have happened.
Oh.
Like
Well, I mean, the Bible does, cover its ground on a lot of that stuff. He had him on an ark, and it was 40 days.
yeah, but
Right.
but think like so we can confirm that capybaras evolved in South America. That's their homeland. That's their environment. There's no land between the Americas and the Eurasian continental landmass or whatever.
Well, they like to say that human migration, primitive human migration only happened during the Ice Age, so that we had a bridge to gap the land. So if in line with the incomprehensibility of God, could there not have been some sort of naturally occurring bridge?
But the
We
bridge,
believe in a Pangea.
yeah, but that was like we're talking billions of years ago. I mean, the flood story was supposed to have happened like what 4,000 years ago somewhere in there. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but like only 4,000. That's not even.
There's a 6,000-year-old Earth theory with the Bible.
Yeah, but that's supposed to happen like a lot of years after the. I mean, they both happen in Genesis, not even that far apart, but there's like hundreds of thousands of years of gap between the two, as far as I know.
Now, there's a big philosophical area of like subscription with people who try to kind of bridge the gap between science and religion, and their general argument is, and this is based off of where I originate in faith, how it can be such a large leap of faith to believe in first life forming. So they're there, and what they've come to is, okay, the Bible says because Moses wrote it that it took 6 days to make the earth because he got it in a vision. That's how it's talked about. And I mean, first of all, from a vision, you're going to remember 5 books. I mean, but that's besides the point. What if he being God designed us using the process of evolution? What if he only really created life-wise that first replicating cell and made that, and then his plan, became all of this, evolution. And, if God really did give a vision to Moses, who was a very, very primitive human compared to us technologically, he would have been so confused and in disbelief just based on that theory, because evolution hadn't even been a word that had been passed around.
Have you heard of Occam's
Do you
razor?
think that isn't that like a Satan thing?
No. So it's a philosophical device. Basically, how do I best describe it?
Well, your answer is no. I don't know anything about that.
Okay, I'll explain it in like as quickly as possible. Doesn't require that much, but so basically for something that's unknown that has multiple possible explanations, you should believe that the most likely one is the one that requires the least amount of assumptions. So
Okay. That's logical.
So let's read. I'm not going to read Genesis 1, but okay, let's assume all that we know about science lines up with Genesis if we say that this day meant this many years and then the second one actually meant this many years. And
Right.
then this one, even though this happened after what science can verify was supposed to happen before this. It just got switched up or something. What I'm saying is, what I'm getting at is that it's making a lot of assumptions. And to me, it takes a few less assumptions to just say the people that wrote Genesis didn't know what they were talking about scientifically, you know?
But how many assumptions does it take to think that? Because it's not just a bunch of things being jammed together to make DNA. DNA is made up of amino acids, which is a conglomeration of proteins, which is a conglomeration of other molecules, which are in themselves a conglomeration of certain atoms. I feel like you also have to make a lot of assumptions there.
I mean, well, the difference is that science can at least verify these things, you know? I mean, there's just a
But it
protocell.
can't. We haven't made a cell. We haven't made life. We've only ever had life from life.
Well, see, I mean, we're not going to make a cell, something that requires, I mean, by definition, billions and billions of years to even happen naturally. We're not doing that in a lab in just a decade or so since we've been studying. I mean, probably even I'll
We
even
couldn't
give.
make a hyperbolic primordial soup full of a bunch of amino acids and even synthetically increase the chance so that maybe it's a 1 in 10 chance it could happen by putting all the correct stuff in there that's already kind of compiled.
I mean, you're kind of describing the Miller-Urey experiment. Have you heard of it?
No, I have not.
So basically, it's kind of the exact what you just described, except to get us to the starting step. So they recreated the conditions on which Earth would have been in, temperature and all that, all of given all the reactions, and they show that it is at the very least viable for the first pieces of self-replicating, like the first self-replicating molecules to have occurred naturally. It's called the Miller-Urey experiment, Miller-Urey experiment. There's also a protocell experiment that came out just last year. I think it was in August, that showed that the missing link for why abiogenesis wasn't as viable before was because they were missing silicone. So I mean, it's at the very least viable, and it's like, if we are going to stick in the realm of, okay, science shouldn't be tossed out, then I still would put one more assumption on the Christian side, or at least like the theist side, to say like, okay, happened naturally, all these assumptions versus all these things definitely did happen, which plus the assumption that God did it. So it's just one
Right,
more.
because atheist science, when it comes to like beginnings of life and things like that, being, even to get a little political, talking about like that in schools, I believe that that's almost like bordering on religion, because all of this science is theoretical. So it's almost like a religious theoretical science. Subscribing to it?
I think we should be more intentional with our words and describing everything that's like. Because let's assume for a second, I'm going to say assume, there are things that science doesn't know, and there are hypotheses that people could make that can get them to adding them to scientific theories, but I would think it's unintentional to use the word religion to describe those things, to describe a holding to those things. And not just because it's like,
There might be a difference in the definition of religion.
yeah,
I'm just talking about the belief of how it all came to be.
Yeah, not even because I'm necessarily an atheist and biased to it and don't like being called religious or whatever, but like, nobody's gathering around on Sundays talking about evolution. You get me? Or talking about abiogenesis. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
So I would hope to be a little bit more intentional with that from whoever said that.
Sure, I think I just have too broad of a definition of religion there. I wasn't trying to impose that you are a religious person, because I know that has different implications.
I get you.
But when it comes to scientific theory, or sorry, not scientific theory in general, just general theories, human beings are very good at like poking at them to see where they break. And we've broken a lot of false theories. I mean, look at how, Greek mythology never survived as an actual belief for people. It thinks that we used to have 2 heads, 4 arms, 4 legs, and then he split us up into male and female because we were too powerful. Yeah. And it was all Zeus doing it, and they kept adding gods. Like, so there comes a point where it becomes irrational. But do you think it means anything that the ancient idea of a god is not disprovable? The same way that the scientific claims are also not provable or disprovable.
I feel like a lot of God claims are only disprovable by way of moving the goalposts, The religions that claim things that are very obviously scientifically unprovable will die off, and we saw that happen with a lot of the pagan religions. You know, they claim gods are on the mountain. So okay, let's go. Let's
I mean,
scale
that
them out.
happens in.
You know, let's
I'm
scale
sorry. No,
the
go
mountain.
ahead.
You know, let's scale the mountain, and then let's see if the gods are up there. Oh, no gods, and then the religion gets taken less seriously afterward. So what I
Right.
think people, especially modern religions, are doing is like, okay, well, this God's real, but he's just outside of anything that we'll ever be able to verify whatsoever, outside of space itself, outside of our timeline itself, outside of doesn't have to abide by our logical rules. It's just like taking the goalpost and throwing it as far as we possibly can. And I feel like they would do so even if we discover that it's still impossible afterward.
What's so tricky about faith in general and religions in general is that we're already on the basis of breaking logic. A god, just the idea of that, of a being that's outside of the universe, already breaks our preset limitations on logic. So if we're already on a foundation of the illogical, it becomes really natural to produce more illogical, occurrences and happenings. Like in Christianity, I think the generally like touted around statistic is like a third of the world subscribes to like a god and Jesus. Just those two things. Like that's our big scope of Christianity here. And they all subscribe to the miracles and the crazy crap happening. So does that mean that like a third of the world, in your opinion, has their worldview based on a completely illogical basis?
Yes.
Or can you see any possibility that this stuff could be
No. Yes.
reality?
No. The answer is yes. I think a third of people lie somewhere between misled or intentionally holding on to something that they know to make no sense. I would say so, and I don't think it's necessarily their fault. You know, like the two biggest religions in the world spread by the sword. So their ancestors, they didn't have a choice in the matter, especially if you're in the Americas or Africa, especially, or Oceania. They didn't really have a choice. So I don't blame anyone for it or knock anyone for it or try to paint myself as automatically smarter than them solely because of it. But the answer is
Right.
yes. I would say that at the very least, a third of the world are just outright mistaken.
With my opinion, I like to view myself as a non-conspiratorial and logical Christian for the most part. I do subscribe to like the miracles. I take the Bible pretty literally, just in general. But I don't believe in like a lot of the weird stuff, like the Eucharist, that Jesus Christ is like living in a cracker. That's like the Catholics thing.
You ever have those?
Like-
You ever have those crackers like just as a snack? They're actually
The
not
like
bad.
communion crackers, the wafers.
Yeah, a little communion. You can literally just go on Amazon
Ugh.
and buy some.
They're not that good.
No, they're not that good, but like they're good for dips and stuff. You know, you can dip them in shit. They're decent. You get the job done.
Dude, they're
But-
too thin to even use on like hummus. Dude, hummus would just destroy that thing.
No, see, like
I mean, if
okay,
that's the body of Christ, I'd hope it could beat hummus.
all right. So I bought some, and then I had like a beer cheese because I was like, all right, that's just rad. They did break. I did have to send in some Recon crackers, but so I just started spooning them on, and they were okay. Maybe it's just because I like bland food though. I like potatoes and rice and shit. Beside the point, what were you saying?
Okay, so I was saying from the basis that I think I am a generally logical Christian, and like I do kind of back a lot of my own. Not back. I do rationalize a lot of my own ideas, through the lens of science.
Yeah.
But I think that like most Christians and most people that are like really devout in religion, I think you have a point that most of them really never thought about it and landed on anything.
Yeah.
They were just raised into it and like forced upon. They had to say grace every time at dinner, and they just had a good relationship with their family, so they were like them.
Yeah, I'm sorry, so sorry. Really quickly before I get to that, 270,000 communion wafers to consume an entire cheese. Is that the number? Good God! All right,
That might be biblically accurate right there.
yeah, I think so. I think with his measurements, I think that sounds about right. But to answer your not question, but to the riff off of that a little bit, yeah, that's kind of one of the main reasons I do this. Because I won't get into why, but recent events that happened in November led me to led me to thinking, okay, wait a second. people are living their entire lives simply not thinking about why they think the things they think. And so that's what kind of gave me the
Yeah.
resolve to do this. But because of some things that
Yeah.
happened in November, you know, so that's kind of the whole
And
point.
what really interested me about you, because like you have a very capturing, freaking screen. I'm an ex-Christian. Ask me anything. I mean, especially to a Christian like myself, who's like also new to it, right? And is pretty freaking devout. So I clicked on it, and you were like, "Oh no, yeah, I've read the entire Bible. I've studied it. I've thought about it." And that's the like only reason I was like, "Let me get on the call with you, bro."
Oh yeah, no,
Because most people don't even think about their atheism either. Because I think we can both agree that it does take leaps of faith, maybe in different proportions, but leaps of faith to arrive at either conclusion just because of how unprovable anything really is that far back.
Mm, in some regards, sure, but I would just hope that we're intentional with our work. Again, I'm not trying to say like, oh, don't like being called religious or having quote unquote faith, but I would say that to say that you are unconvinced by any of the claims
Okay,
made.
well, how I describe faith is
Yes.
just believing in something you haven't seen. That's all I'm saying about it.
Or like
I haven't
maybe coming
seen
into
God.
a
I haven't
conclusion
seen
despite anything you've seen, or
right coming to a conclusion with evidence that you didn't even find.
Mm.
That's both of our cases. Like neither of us have run an experiment. Neither of us have shaken hands with God. So either way, it is a belief system based on evidence, and that's how I describe faith in this conversation.
even if you want to work with that definition, but I mean, by all means.
What ratio would you put on reliability of believing it? Let's compare the not even Christian view, just creator view, creator side of it, versus life happened with these specific circumstances on a fractional scale. Where would you say is like if what's a 1 to 10 scale of how hard it would take to believe Christianity, and a 1 to 10 of how hard it would take to believe that life was mushed together in water?
I mean, for Christianity, 1 to 10 wouldn't, unless we want to use
Just
decimals.
creator, not Christianity, just like creator in general.
Okay, I'll answer.
God.
I'll answer both. For a god in general, or
Okay.
something that had the mind to intentionally make the universe the way that it is, I'd say like maybe, I don't know, 5% chance, possibly. There's enough explanatory power with the things that I can see so far to explain different things about my reality that, I feel like it's just unnecessary. But I mean, by all means, like, there's also the issue with solipsism and how that could relate to. So I'll give it 5%. But for Christianity, I give it, I don't know, something to the tune of, what's the closest to 0 I can get while being respectful.
I mean, yeah, dude, look at any, religion that's based off of a creator idea. You just get too specific. And
Yeah,
then the chances just start exponentially
yeah,
rocketing downward.
0.001 chance for Christianity. So like a 99.999 it not being real for Christianity, and like a 95% for just a creator, maybe deism in general.
Okay. And then now for your subscription to belief.
I'm sorry?
And then then what's that scale for you for life came from being, swirled around in water for a while?
Oh, closer to, I mean, the evidence is good for it so far, just, I'd say it's closer to like that it did happen or didn't. Either way, let's be intentional. I'd say it's like a 99. I'll end the 99% chance that it did happen that way, just because of the evidence they were able to produce for it so far, showing every experiment that they lean into and have the proper preparation time, and have it all seem to be turning up.
Well,
so.
you're giving it a lot more favor than the science is giving it. Because look at the odds that they said that an amino acid could be made. It's in the fractions of 1%. Give it the odds that the amino acids could form together to create a chain of some sort of a DNA helix. very low. That it could helix, very low. That it could get to the appropriate length, still fractional of 1. Everything all the way up to the logical evolution, that I can totally get behind. That's logical. I'm just talking like the first thing. It's based on so many zeros as the first numbers. All of it, every step of the way.
Yeah, firstly, where'd you get that? But secondly, in low number, like no low percentage relative to what? Relative to it not happening altogether, relative to how it should have happened in its
Look at all the other
environment,
planets that could be suitable for life that we found. I mean, we're up to like the hundreds of those, and now we haven't gotten any probes to any of them. No, because they're all far as hell away.
Yeah.
But I mean, then we're looking at like, why is there not obvious life there? But then there's also the thing like, would we even be able to see them? Would they be able to see us? How technologically advanced could they be?
Yeah, I would say at that point it's just arbitrary because I'll put it in scale really quickly. The odds of life forming naturally on our particular planet, very extremely low, but only because we put more and more factors into it. Life forming at all naturally, I would say, if it can be properly explained and there's evidence showing that abiogenesis is viable, then that jumps up to 100%. And the analogy I like to always use is the Powerball jackpot. So there's like a 1 in 200 million chance of you winning off of one ticket, like winning the jackpot. And if you play just one ticket and you win on that one ticket, okay, that's a very low percentage chance of that happening. So you thinking, oh, there had to have been something that made me win this. I would say you're at least justified in thinking so, despite the math still checking out. But if you play 292 million tickets, now that your number just jumps up to 100%, one of them has to hit, because you've played every possible combination. So with all the planets in the universe, there's something in the sextillions or septillions that we can verify. Like it had to happen on one of them, and I think this just at the very least one of them. I think this is the just one of the ones that happened to have happened on.
So I'm gonna try to get off soon because I know I've been like hogging your entire live stream here, dude. Like I don't know how long you've been on, but I know we've been on this phone call for a while.
It's been a minute, yeah.
What's your like general explanation for the massive disparity of human intelligence if we came from a viable species already that still exists? And what happened to also our in-between phases? Why'd they all die?
Our in-between phases of like from humans to our most recent common ancestor, or just from...
Yes. Yeah. Like, the scale of man, where they start standing up.
Yeah.
That scale. Cavemen people, Neanderthals. What happened to all of them?
I don't know. They just didn't quite fit into their environment. Skill issue at that point. Didn't fit into their environment well enough, couldn't fend off predators well enough, and then enough survived, and we were able to say, okay. Or I guess I should say our genome was able to say, okay, if we continue things this particular way, then we die. So, let me evolve these traits, that trait, this trait, that trait, and that would have to include our intelligence at some point.
Well, let's look at it at a smaller scale. Let's compare like an octopus, which is one of like, the most intelligent, animals that we have. One of them.
Yeah.
And then you compare it to like a sea sponge or I don't even think they have a brain. Let's give one that at least have a brain, like a shrimp, for example.
Sure.
That gap in intelligence, I can, in my mind, at least see that maybe that gap exists between us and apes, which is our, most recent living evolutionary ancestor. I think that gap is pretty close. I mean, apes couldn't have made a smartphone. Like, there's a huge gap there. So, if you look at octopus and shrimp, if you look at... Now, I'm sure there's common ancestor. I know that they're very unlikely related. There are still steps all the way down at very small increments of lowering intelligence. Mm-hmm. So you can see, okay, this is a little smarter, this is a little smarter. Get up to apes, we still have that natural 1-1 curve of intelligence down the line, but then it just spikes exponentially from one species to the next, right at the end. And then why aren't we evolving?
Well, we are evolving. That's the thing. It's, for the more complex that the organism is, and the longer they take to reproduce, the longer it'll take for new traits to become apparent. But yeah, we've definitely observed species evolving over just experimental periods for fruit flies, for bacteria, but we just so
I mean,
happen
I look
to,
at dogs too. I mean, we've done it ourselves.
yeah, so, we don't hit puberty until like what, our teenage years, or, early teenage
Hmm.
years, or pubescent years as they call them. And so that's years right there. And then we have 9 months to gestate our kids, and then we only have one kid at a time. So, I mean, but, humans, we are organisms. So naturally, we are going to evolve, and we're going to keep evolving. And
Well, the question was explaining the intelligence gap and also kind of bridging off of what you were saying, how our middle generations from ape just weren't viable. Okay, so ape got a little bit skinnier, a little bit colder, and a little bit smarter.
mm,
That one wasn't viable. Okay, we're not viable, so then the next generation that's even skinnier, even colder, and even smarter now is viable, but then that one's not either. So let's get even skinnier, even colder, even smarter. So we're just repeating the
oh,
same mistake
oh,
to a
I'm so
degree
sorry.
where now it's successful.
I do apologize for interrupting, but I do have to make sure this is on the table. Survival isn't the only thing that drives evolution. There's a bunch of different things that drive it. There's random mutation. There's also, the attempt for a species to evolve traits to help it survive better in its environment. But yeah, there's multiple different things that causes a species to
Human
evolve.
intelligence? Bro, we have memes
So
about
none
a
of
peen
that
or snipper
explains
guy.
the intelligence gap. You know what I mean?
Wait 1 second. Gob, thank you. Gob, thank you for the dollar. Human intelligence, bro. We have memes about a peanut snipper guy. Yeah, yeah. And
Larry.
the fuck you guy. That's a good kitty, I say as I pet on Kitty. No, I'm evil kitty.
Oh my
Says
god,
evil
your
kitty.
voice sounds like him. That's a good kitty. You sound a lot like him, dude.
No, but yeah, no. Appreciate. I'm not gonna say appreciate it to that. Huh? That's like a half compliment, but so basically, yeah. There's survival isn't the only thing that causes humans to evolve new traits or any species to evolve new trait, but it is one, and a lot of them can be explained through that. So, but yeah, I would say but there's nothing I can explain to you that an evolutionary biologist wouldn't be able to explain at the very least 100 times better.
Okay, do you have an explanation for the gap of intelligence? And I know we make peanut snipper jokes, but at least, and you know as well as I know, as an intelligent person, that we are very smart,
Right.
like ridiculously fucking smart
Yeah, smart.
on the animal scale.
Yeah, smart relative to other animals for sure. I mean, I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
But I mean, all we're comparing against is other animals. That's
Yeah,
the thing.
but I don't know, dude. There's have to look into it. My knowledge of evolutionary biology is pretty rudimentary, so I'd have to look into it. But yeah, I'd imagine there is an explanation and a natural one at that. He's over exaggerating the
Okay.
intelligence gap. Yeah, that too. I mean, crows are pretty goddamn smart too. Have you seen a crow?
Yeah, I know they do some crazy stuff.
Yeah, crows are.
But I mean, we're
crazy.
just talking like tool use, though. We're not talking tool manipulation, much less learning algebra.
Yeah. All right, I'll get you off of here. I got to do something.
Yeah, dude.
soon.
Hey, dude, it was awesome talking to you. Like, I really love this conversation.
Yeah, appreciate it. I didn't. I'm fucking around. I'm kidding. No, but yeah, it was great. Yeah, appreciate you coming up. I'll wrap it up here. Yeah, see you later. Have a great rest of your night and day and all that good stuff.
All right, take it easy, man.
Yeah, take care. Chat, I gotta take the biggest shit of my life. I gotta take a shit so massive. I gotta take a complete and total dumper. It's not even funny. It's gonna be a biblical shit that I gotta take soon. I'm sorry to be so blunt, so straightforward. But man, it was cooking up like halfway through. I didn't want to sit here telling like, hey, hey, we're having a good conversation, but I gotta, you know. That's just the objective truth. I try to lie as little as possible. That's the objective truth. That's part of the reason I gotta get off here. Make sure you yell. It helps. I will. I'll yell as loud as possible. That's one of the good parts about living alone too. Well, I mean, I have my upstairs neighbors, but yeah, that's one of the good parts about having my own little space to myself. You can do all types of weird shit. I smelt it. I haven't been farting, dude. There's been no farting. Okay, I've been a good boy. Okay, that sounded really weird. That sounded really, really weird. I was learning the song and I lost the name and now I can't find it anywhere and it's driving me crazy. Try Shazamming it. That should help. I got questions, but if you gotta go, I'll come back next time or so. Yeah, Cozy. The easiest way to reach me off stream is either through Discord or Snapchat. So just click my link tree and do that. I mean, you could DM me anywhere that's DMs are available, but I check those a lot less than Discord and Snapchat. But I gotta get off here soon. Sub to the YouTube. Check out. Firstly, click the link tree. Everybody who's watching, click the link tree. YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Kick, Trovo. If you want to talk off stream, Discord, Snapchat. There's a GoFundMe in there. Help provide meals to the people in northern Gaza. If you want to send text to speech like Gob did, you can either tip me $1 through Streamlabs or donate $1 to the crisis text line through my Streamlabs charity link. Other support methods in there. I'm not gonna mention them though. We'll wait on that. We'll wait on that. But yeah, I gotta go. See you later. Peace out. See you later, quacks. You came in late. See you later. Have a good one.